Well, Nigeria don't they go forward well because we don't almost they carry first for the World Global Terrorism Index as Nigeria don't do so badly. Number 4 position now we don't take now. As a matter of fact, as death toll of people where they die because of terrorism, they reduce for the whole world. Nigeria own only and can the show say it is skyrocket where will it increase. That is as deaths, as people terrorism deaths or related deaths, they reduce for the world. Nigeria own nine coin increase fast. And as we talk like this, our president been there yesterday for inside UK. As he said the British royalty host our president. Not be smug we do yesterday. And very much talked about Nigerian jollof and all of that happened yesterday. Again, our national security advisor called Ide for the back of us where we say they ride, they for chariots, they groove in life. Person where BC suppose they, give a president informate as it get to do with security for inside the country. With the kind of people where BC for the UK, so people can ask, excuse me, how many remain for Nigeria right now? Because if all these people there 3-day UK like this, who come there for house for Nigeria to take care of the house? Nigerians welcome to Updated Pressures. It's always a pleasure to be with you now to bring on the things and what they share for inside the country. So I don't tell her now, say Nigeria don't carry first as matter get to do with terrorism for inside Nigeria. But make I give you just a few headlines of some other matter that maybe say they share quick. Then so that we'll go straight to the matter as Dr. Katch they for corner to bring us breakdown as the matter then take down for body. Now, 3 police officers, vigilante leader killed in Taraba bandits. The banditry in they stop at all. Identities of dreaded Boko Haram ISOP commanders neutralized in Borno review. 60 something of them our army kill them, brandish their body for they show their body there so that in case people they doubt, when they say our army get the capacity to kill them. I'll defend myself, no regrets over my time as minister for my AGF Malami. And they talk this one. Oh, by the way, he talk say he say he not get excuses, say no regrets anything when as minister. And by the way, we hear from gossip too, say Sultan of Sokoto visit to President President Bola Tinubu na solely to ask him say, Oga, waiting Aerofy they do for your custody. If it's release and make it be safe from house, still they go they face the charges. So if you say one face in the face, why if you say they hold them like that? Well, we will look at all of this matter and more. Plus, as I don't use the carry first well for terrorism matter for inside the country. Joining me for inside the studio now, Dr. Katch Ononuju. Dr. Katch, thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure. Good evening, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.
Well
Good
done,
evening. Sir. Thank you for having me. It's always a good thing to be with you and your audience.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
I am happy to be here.
Thank you. As we talk to you right now, almost everybody will be who is who for Nigeria, they for UK. And this one happened even as bomb blast, triple bomb blast happened for inside Borno State. People they complain. Say why the president go still go that matter? Why not does the talk say why you no go that kind of thing? No go fit cancel them. A whole British government invite you. Some people come and talk say Nigeria pay money well, now make them invite us, so we'll not pay money, we'll pay money. But I would like to take your mind on everything concerning this UK trip sharply before I enter the main matter that we get, sir.
It is important for the government that the world sees the government as being acceptable to other people across the world, to actually have relations with them, especially in the middle of its crisis and issue with the United States government in relations to the internal genocide carried out by the Fulani militiamen, which the president was caught hands down as being a supervisor to such gruesome, murderous crime. So whether you like it or not, it's a good thing that members of the international community, especially our former colonial master, are seen to feel comfortable to actually invite our president to visit them. That is expected because the president has been known to be hobnobbing with France. And in hobnobbing with France, the colonial masters who were our historical allies, as they would say, was sidelined. So, and the event of the U.S. incursion, or rather intervention into Nigeria, due to the president's incompetence in handling the Fulani genocidal issues in country, it's a good thing for Nigeria to be seen to also be acceptable by some members of the international community, even though they didn't care. They didn't say anything while the killings were raging across Nigeria. So for the government, it's like a plus that even though the US government says that it was caught red-handed, uh, being on top of events like the genocide being committed against Christians in the Middle Belt, and they didn't do anything. So, having the chance to come to the United Kingdom and then open minds with civilized countries, it's a plus for the Tinubu administration.
A plus to them, but a lot of people they worried because as I talk to you now, global civil society organizations they vex for the king. They say why the king no mention anything about the killings of Nigeria for inside in speech. You know, even they like say he pay attention to the people where they die for inside Nigeria. It they fair say you know say we get this existential problem for inside Nigeria, and the king failed to mention it in its slightest form for inside in speech the way we say make.
Well, that's also some of the failings of the British relations with Nigeria, and also the failings of people at the French president's relation with Nigeria, because they have access to the intelligence that speaks to the
Sir,
genocide
I
that
don't know
was.
whether you can hear me. Your voice is a bit muffled up. I don't know what's it's muffled, so it's not very clear.
I can hear you very well. I can
But
hear
your
you
sound, your
very,
own
very
voice, your voice is muffled up. It's not very clear.
well. Sorry, it is. I can hear you very perfectly, but despite the static noise, and that static noise is part of that problem that we've always had. Whenever I speak with you, we suffer this static interference. But then I can hear you. You can hear me now.
I still
Can
can't
you
hear
hear
you,
me
but
well?
your sound is not just good enough. Your sound is not good, so we'll have to strain our
Then
ears to hear
let
you.
me let me not just training. Give me a minute. Let me reboot back my connection with you so that
All
this
right
one
then.
can clear off.
Okay. All right then. All right then. Thank you so much. All right. So while Dr. Kash is trying to get his connection right, let me quickly let you in on what an imam said yesterday. You know, I did tell you guys that an imam said that there was something the Sultan of Sokoto told our president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, when the Sultan visited President Tinubu in Aso Villa on Sunday. And a lot of people may look at it like, is it true or not, or stuff like that. Well, we did hear that, according to the statement, that the Sultan spoke to the president and told him about um, El Rufai situation. First of all, he did ask him that what exactly, according to what I heard also, maybe make I play am and I go use an amount interpreter. Say the president asked and say, make you no vex, so excuse me, president. Waiting exactly be the mission of what did they call them? US for inside Nigeria. Tell us, make we know. Waiting exactly what US they do for Nigeria. But apart beyond that, that he also did ask him that when is the US going to leave the country? How long are they staying for? And beyond that, El Rufai, can he not face his charges while at home? Must he be in detention? Well, let me see if Dr. Katch has rejoined us and if his voice and sound is a bit better. Dr. Katch, can you hear me now? Please kindly speak. Let's ascertain
Yes,
your audio.
I can hear you very clearly.
This is fine. This
I
is
hope
fine.
you can
Your
hear
sound,
me.
I can hear you. This is fine now. I just hope it remains this way. It's fine now. It's fine now. Okay, so you were saying something, and I was telling you that the king did not make you not mention anything we concern genocide for Nigeria or the killings that happened for Nigeria, or even the bomb blast that happened the night before the president come visit them. You don't even talk about those ones. So now, what some people they worried about inside the matter.
Uh, that shows you the quality of relations that we have with that there are killings going on in Nigeria while the president was in London, and they couldn't mention it And even the Nigerian didn't care about. All the president did was to say that chiefs should pack their loads and go straight on to Maiduguri so as to be on top shoes. Well, from what I know, a lot of the security chiefs were actually in London also with the president.
So
Can you
again,
hear
before
me
we talk about,
now?
yes, I can hear you. Okay, before we also talk about some things really happen, make I quickly play you this audio. I know, see you speak Hausa or you don't understand Hausa language. We this particular imam, we hear that he said that Sultan of Sokoto did pay President Bola Ahmed Tinubu a visit on Sunday, and the imam they talk say the Sultan asked President say waiting exactly be the mission of the US in Nigeria, how long they will stay before they will come, and why they for northern Nigeria, not any other part of Nigeria. And then he also did charge him on the detention of Erufai and how, and talking about the fact that he could face his trials while at home or from home. I don't know if that's exactly what he said, but that's the interpretation I got from some quarters. Kindly help me listen and tell me if it's true or not.
Sarkin Musulmi kwanan nan kamar yadda bayani ya tabbata ya ta zuriya Abuja yana so ya ga shugaban kasa, amma as usual kusan ayyuka ne suka yawa, commitment ko ba a samu haduwa ba sai a jiya Lahadi ko jiya Lahadi ya ganshi suka zauna da shi kuma ya ce mishi abubuwa guda biyu ya kawo shi, abu biyu yake so ya ganshi ya nemi bayani kuma da ƙarin bayani. Na farko, sojojin Amerika da aka kawo su Najeriya mutum 200 da cewa za su koya wa sojojinmu na Najeriya aiki, wanda wannan ƙarya ne. Ƙarya ne wannan, ba sarki musulmi ce ƙarya ba ne, Sunusi ne ce ƙarya ne wannan. Kuma mun daɗe muna wannan bayani a nan wurin. Sojan Najeriya sai dai ya koya wani aiki amma ba dole ya koya mushi aiki. Ya ce an kawo su don su koya wa sojojin Najeriya aiki. Amma labarin da yake yi shi ne kuma za a yi musu sansani na dindindin a nan arewacin Najeriya. Sarkin Musulmi ya kalli shugaban ƙasa ya ce mishi, Your Excellency, ina so in ji bayani. Shin sun zo ne don su koyawa sojojinmu aiki ko kuwa sansani na dindindin za a yi musu? Idan sansanin dindindin za a yi musu, a kan wane dalili kuma don me ya sanya sai a arewa? Na biyu ya ce Nasiru Ahmad ‘yan Rufa'i ya ce ba cewa ya yi ‘yan mutum ya laifi kar a hukunta shi ba. A'a, amma adalci shine idan an kama mutum yana da laifin a gaya wa duniya ga laifinsa kuma a kai shi a kotu, amma babu ko ɗaya. Saboda haka yana roƙon shugaban ƙasa a saki Nasiru ‘yan Rufa'i. Sultan ya yi aiki ko bai yi ba? A madadin waye wannan aikin? Muna mishi addu'a ko ba ma musu addu'a? Abin da muke nema kenan wurin su. Mu idan mun yi magana injiniya sai a ce yan iska ne mu. Idan mun yi magana sai a ce fitina muke nema. To shugabanninmu su shiga gaba su kaddamar da irin waɗannan jawaban. Khalas. Saboda haka muna goyon bayan sarkin musulmi shugaban ƙasa. Muna neman bayanin sojojin Amerika sun zo ne don koyawa sojojinmu aiki ko don a ba su sansani na dindindin arewacin Najeriya. Idan don a ba su sansani ne, akan wani dalili ko me ya sanya sai a arewacin Najeriya? Muna tare da sarkinmu na musulmi 100%. Kuma kamar yadda ya ce Nasiru in ya yi laifi a fito da laifin, fito da shi a kai shi kotu. Idan har yanzu ba a gano ba a sako shi. Mutane nawa ne alaga kuma kasar da aka yi musu wannan? A sako shi. Alaba shi ku ta binciken ku. wanda ya laifi a hukunta shi. Saboda haka muna addu'a sarki Allah ya bashi lafiya. Sarakunan nan namu algati malam, ko da daɗi ko babu daɗi, ko muna so ko ba ma so, shugabanninmu ne, muna son su, muna ƙaunar su, muna girmama su, wanda ya taba su ya taba mu. Ko me suke yi namu ne, a bar mu da su, mu musu nasiha, in mun samu damar nasiha, in mun samu damar magana, a yi magana, amma namu ne, muna son su. Muna son su.
All right, so Dr. Katch,
I
don't know. Can you help us break down what's going on? What's be the thing when they talk for here? Could they show saying that waiting we hear saying they talk?
I don't think these things are what me and you should be reacting to. A lot of them are purposely organized simply to ask questions that they also have answers. But I will just tell you, a lot of these people are finding their voices. They are finding the courage. Months after the US have put boots on the ground to start asking questions. Well, everybody knows the reason why the United States decided to intervene in Nigeria. It has to do with the genocide that was going on. Everybody kept quiet. They didn't say anything through the 8 years of Buhari's presidency. While the genocide was on, the killings were on in Kaduna, nobody talked. They were on in Taraba, nobody talked. In places like Sokoto, Katsina, Zamfara, and what you anyway, nobody talks. If they don't know the reasons why the US came in, for me and you to start reacting to the questions they raise, it is for them to ask themselves, why did none of them speak up while the killings were going on? If they have
the reason
courage.
The reason I asked this question, it's because I was getting to a point. I did tell you that I hosted Mike Arnold last week, and there were things he said, especially about the Sultan of Sokoto and what he calls his complicity in what's going on, even though you had said something like that before. So I deliberately, played this so that we can lay a preamble to that conversation with Mike Arnold, because it's important that we have a perspective, an overall perspective about the conversation that we're having. It's not good to, just look at it from one side alone. So now, if this, whatever he said is true, I don't understand Hausa, and I know a lot of us don't speak Hausa, so a lot of us don't even know what's in talk, except to tell us what's in talk, so we don't know. But however, if the interpretation where I get from waiting they say in talk, people go they wonder say why it be say the Sultan they eager about the US presence in Nigeria if the US they here to help teach our military, as President Tinubu administration talk, to teach us how to fight terrorism. Then why is he worried about it? If as a leader, he should also be worried about the terrorism in Nigeria. Reason I'm asking this is because of this thing that Mike Arnold said.
Islam means submission. They must obey. If he were to come out as the paramount ruler, the highest Muslim, the head of all the imams and all the traditional rulers, and
he's the head of Islam in Nigeria, yes.
If he were to say, this stops now, and if you know anybody that's participating in this, you report them and we'll take care of them. With our justice, with our Sharia system, we will stop this. He could stop it overnight. Anybody that doubts that is brain dead. He could stop it overnight if he wanted to. If he wasn't benefiting from the blood mineral trade, if he wasn't trying to continue and make Nigeria the state of his great-grandfather, Usman Dan Fodio, the caliphate that was built on jihad, the caliphate that was built on slavery, the caliphate that was built on wiping out everybody that stood in their way. He's the 20th generation successor. If he wanted it to stop, it would stop. If he wanted it to stop, at least there'd be a hint that he wanted it to stop. At least there'd be a statement. Yeah, he's either the weakest, most cowardly Muslim ruler in the history of the world, or he's fully knowledgeable and complete.
All right, sir. Dr. Katch, can you hear me? Hello, Dr. Katch. Dr. Katch, are you there? Can you hear me, sir?
I don't see another way. And if there's another way, maybe they have a gun to his head and say, we'll kill you if you do anything. But again, that would make him the weakest Muslim ruler in the history of the world. So he's either pathetically weak or he's a terrorist himself. I don't see another way. And if there is another way, I encourage him to please come out and tell us. Because the U.S. is now looking right down his back, okay? They've named Mayedi a lot with him as the chairman. They bombed Sokoto on purpose. The heat's on. Come out and come clean, Mr. Sultan. If you're really innocent in this, if you're not the architect of this, if you're not benefiting from this, now's the time to come out and prove it before more tomahawk missiles head towards Sokoto.
So you are challenging the Sultan of Sokoto that if he is innocent of the attacks in Nigeria and the killings in Nigeria, he should come out immediately and condemn all the killings if he's innocent.
Don't you think? If he cares about the people, lots of the displaced, millions of displaced are his subjects. What has he done to help them? The minerals being looted are coming from his domain. What's he doing to stop it if he's not benefiting? They're stealing, they're picking his pocket, and they're killing his people and driving him off his land, and he says nothing? They hold up Muhammad to be the perfect man. If you study the Quran, it's the story of how he conquered, how he went into Medina as this minority group that was persecuted and played the victim and got other victims groups together and little by little bumped them off and took control of the government.
All right, so Dr. Katch, I'm sure you would have seen an excerpt of this conversation with Mike Arnold. So the question is, if the Sultan, Mike Arnold typically challenged the Sultan of Sokoto here, say, if he knows, say, hands no day for the killing of Nigerians through this genocide and terrorism, make it come out condemn the terrorism publicly. He's challenging him to do so. Can you hear me, Dr. Katch?
No.
So the question is,
Yes, I can hear you.
Why would the president, the Sultan, visit the president to ask about the presence of the United States without also condemning the terrorists or the acts of terrorism in Nigeria? That now waiting a BC people they look at. Now I have to make I ask you.
Well, you need to understand the Fulanese are historically masters of deceit. They have their way called the takia. And this is their way, trying to pretend they don't know what's going on. But they know what's going on. If they want to behave like they don't know, we should simply ignore them and continue to move on with the real world. Nobody is a child. Everybody knows what happened. The Sultan did not do anything to stop the genocide. Instead, what he said was, whoever tries to challenge the Boko Haram or the Fulani militias was probably going to challenge God. So they've now seen the repercussions of and the consequences of the actions that they have. And I've told you on this program that the Sultan himself, it's complicit in what's going on. What did he do through the years as the genocide and killings sustained? What did they do? These people making noise now while the killings reached. So for us, we just have to ignore them and don't take them seriously. We are lucky that the international community are witnesses to what happened. If this is their way, denial, this is their way. Manifest denial in the face of manifest Fulani atrocities. So we don't need to take them seriously, ignore them, and continue to move and deal with the problem. If they are not going to admit what has happened, there's no way we can respectfully expect them to become members on a table where issues will be talked about on how to resolve the crisis. So ignore them since they are not willing to admit what has happened. The good thing about this is we have intelligence, we have recordings, we have witnesses of what has happened. So forget their foolishness. It's not going to work for anybody this time. This is what it is. They will commit a crime. When you raise your voice, they will deny. They actually think the more they deny, the more we will simply give up and stop talking about it. But no, today we have a third eye, and that is the international community who are now witnesses to what has happened in our country. So forget all the things they say. It doesn't really matter. There's acrobatics you're watching right now would not move the needle. The world has taken notice of what has happened, and the world wants to deal with it. If they're asking questions on why the Americans are here, maybe they expect that white people were being killed and nothing will happen. You can see what's going on in Meduguri. The bombing and the killings are real. Yes, some of these leaders have traveled to London. It just shows you the culture in Nigeria.
Dr. Katch, your sound is still very bad. I don't know. Your sound is still really, really bad. We can barely hear you, and it's not making for a very clear communication. I don't know what's going on.
It is
Your sound is
sad
very
that I hold several interviews across the country. It's only when I'm talking to you that I say this kind of poison that causes static and we do not hear ourselves. It's sad. It is sad. Very, very sad. I
It's very
know
unfortunate because
this is
it's not
what you
making for a
call
clear conversation.
it is a denial of service game being perpetrated by those who do not want the words to be discussed. It's the same thing that we're saying. They've been following me and I'm aware, so I'm not surprised if they do this things. But of course, they cannot stop
Well,
us.
it's unfortunate. All right. So before we get to other issues and Nigeria topping the terrorism index, it's only also fair for me to also read out a report. There's an exclusive report on Premium Times about how the coup plotters who planned to topple Tinubu's government planned to eliminate him and members of his family and some other top members in Asa Rock. And this is really in depth. So, yeah, the idea, according to the newspaper, multiple reliable insiders, that the operation was structured like a full-scale military takeover with units assigned to seize strategic installations simultaneously at the same time. While one team moved on the presidential villa, another was tasked with taking control of the Niger barracks, a critical military formation overlooking the presidential villa and housing the country's top military chiefs. There are specific officers were allegedly, the specific officers were allegedly assigned to eliminate a top-ranking officer or some top-ranking officers, including the chief of defense staff and service chiefs. Additional units. In fact, bottom line is that these people had planned strategically to eliminate any obstruction simultaneously, so that before one will act, the other one is already, attacked. So they won't have room for attack. Should this, God forbid, had succeeded, what would it have meant for Nigeria? It to say this kind of rubbish succeed. What it for mean for Nigeria?
It's not about it. If the militias were going to take us out, and they're also planning that the officers were also going to take out the politicians. So you can understand that it's double whammy. The country is not safe. And that's why I think President Tinubu has to sit down and run a more inclusive government. Because for him to be able to fight off this kind of bad blood coming from a section of the country, he needs to include the other sections of the country that I trust, especially the South. Right now, Tinubu's government is not an inclusive government. Nepotism, where he promotes Yoruba tribalism, still dogs his government. And I think that's wrong. So I think the earlier he includes everybody in his government and walks away from nepotism, the better for the country and also for the better for the government. And the image he intends to portray of unity, if it actually means well in regards to taking care of the problems that are used in America. The fact that the first could fail doesn't mean you wouldn't see another coup. So there is desperation in the country. Those who give power up are really not happy to give power up. Let them share country with us. And that's why you saw they now protect and use their militias to perpetrate protocols that will force them to seize the country entirely. We are living in very dangerous times in Nigeria.
Okay, all right. So going back to waiting the report around Nigeria and Nigeria topping the terrorism index, it is very shameful and very embarrassing. And this one don't be waiting it be say a lot of people they worried about, especially at a time when it be say Nigerians say our president and most of the people where they government, they away, they're out of town. They know they're around. And now this kind of reports they happen. And remember that we just had a very disastrous bombing incident in Nigeria. A lot of people they talk say, what does it mean that Nigeria is now ranking number 4 in the entire world in the global terrorism index? Let's get to that first of all. Then before we get to the breakdown of the statistics of the report itself.
You need to understand that the terrorism has been with us.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you, unfortunately. I don't understand what's going on.
I'm trying to say that terrorism has been
Okay.
with us since from the time of demonstration. So the fact that you're now seeing figures being published does not mean that those figures are reflective of anything that is new. It is reflective of what has been with us since the 8 years of the Buhari administration. The fact that the world have now come in and we're beginning to show the international community figures of what's going on in Nigeria doesn't mean it's new. It's being with us there. And those of us who've been complaining, never mind the mad people who want to deny it. It doesn't really get nowhere. The Sultan himself and other people you see talking about what the American looking for are complicit in this thing. These are the people who stood to gain should there be a total conquest of the country by their people, either through a coup or through the genocide jihad. So they will continue to talk like we don't know what's going on. But of course, we know what's going on. These things are recorded, and we have pictures, we have data, now we have international witnesses to the genocide that has taken place in this country. And of course, you can understand, as I said to you in October, I mean in November, that we will suddenly get into a war of narratives. And that's what you say. The more we narrate about the sufferings that we've been through, the more they want to narrate, employing their takia to deny everything. But then we know who they are. They know that we know them. So those things do not make sense to anybody who intelligently understands Nigeria. Let them continue denying. Let them continue being in denial. They were in denial as the United States put on the ground on Nigerian soil. They will continue to be in denial as we now take stock of what has happened. Those things will not push us anywhere, neither does it move the needle. Let them continue to be in denial.
Let's quickly take a sneak peek at that report itself. So, going with the report, the 2026 Global Terrorism Index (GTI), released on March 19th, today, 2026, by the Institute for Economics and Peace (IEP), has revealed that Nigeria experienced the largest largest year-on-year increase in terrorism-related deaths globally. That is among all the countries the way terrorism they worry. Now our deaths now pass every other country on globally. Now this surge has propelled the country or pushed the country to 4th place on the index, trailing only Pakistan, Burkina Faso, and Niger Republic. Nigeria's ascent in the rankings comes amid a protracted security crisis characterized by an escalation in terrorism, banditry, which is still terrorism, and high profile kidnappings. Now, the violence has taken a heavy toll on the nation's security apparatus, with several senior military officers among those killed in recent operations, and it's been very sad. Now, while Nigeria saw a decline in its security situation, the report indicated a broader global trend of improvement. So while Nigeria's security situation the day worse, the world generally the thing they reduced. So Nigeria they get more attack, worsening security, the insecurity that is linked to terrorism in the world is rather reducing, but that of Nigeria is increasing. Total deaths from terrorism fell by approximately 28% to 5,582. The lowest level recorded since 2007 will never get only 5,802, 5,582 deaths as a result of terrorism in death in the world. Never. These are the lowest deaths. Now, despite this overall reduction, Pakistan was ranked as the countries most impacted by terrorism for the first time, followed by the Sahelian nations, Burkina Faso and Niger Republic. And Nigeria came fourth. Now, sub-Saharan Africa remains the global epicenter of terrorism, hosting 6 of the 10 most affected nations. In the countries, in contrast, I think Western nations experience a paradoxical trend. While global incidents decreased, fatalities in the West rose by a sharp 280%. This spike was primarily driven by political terrorism, anti-Semitism, and Islamophobia, according to what they said. But in all, the Nigerian situation is worse looking at it globally, even though say we're there number 4. The deaths will the thing don't cause for Nigeria 9-day worst. Dr. Katch, this is really very embarrassing for our country, especially for a country that its leadership barely acknowledges that there is an existential threat to wipe out its people. And it is clear from the World's Index that we're leading the charts in the number of people who don't die through terrorism. So I don't know how far we will go. Reason maker, they ask you this now because of saying, I saw a scoop yesterday from Mike Arnold's page that the Tinubu's administration hired Trump's former staff to help them quell down. In fact, they get about four different PR team now, where they pay different amount of money, apart from the 9 million, to fight against this narrative of Christian genocide. So if we're pushing money, over $10 million so far, to fight against Christian genocide, if we're doing that, or to fight against the narration of Christian genocide, what about the people where they really die? Where they really die through the genocide? Who will fight their cause? How will they get the money to also push on their own lobby to show that indeed they are being killed and they are deliberately targeted and being killed? Make I take your thoughts, sir.
Don't forget that we have a government that is in denial of what's going on. And you also have a lot of people in the country who have access to government who are also helping to deny what's going on. So it's like it's all a part of the plot. Why the killings sustain, there are those who continue to deny it's not happening. And because of the killers go free, the Nigerians who are in Nigeria, and most of them out of fear, they are not speak. Those who can find their way and travel out of the country. But then those of us who are here who know if we speak, we get killed. If we don't speak, get killed. We simply have decided like we need to speak out. This is the problem. This you're speaking now tells you how very dangerous Nigeria has become. The killing goes on. You have people who are in denial, and the government is not doing a thing to actually stop these people who are in denial. And as they are in denial, the Sultan's people, the Fulani militia, the Boko Haram, the ISIS people, as they continue to kill our soldiers, as they continue, can't you say that the soldiers are being killed now simply because soldiers are trying to do something? About before the Americans came, nobody was doing nothing. There was the doctrine of do not engage. So no matter how terrorists shot at you, you don't have to reply. You're quiet, don't engage, don't react until you get instructions and clearance from the politicians who were in control of a lot of the strategic positions in the security agencies. It's the same thing you're seeing as in with the National Security Advisor. Who will give government to such people and expect that anything good will come out? As I'm talking to you now, some of them are scheming to run and become president of our country. What are our country doing if it's not what the Americans have done? The government have been promising us state police so that they can allow the people to defend themselves. No, all that is rhetoric. It's not happening. Nothing is being seen. So it's like those in government, as far as they can get the police and military escorts to protect them, they don't care about what happens to the ordinary Nigerians. That is our fate. You saw the killings in Middle East. As the killings were happening, our officials were busy in London, shaking hands and having banquets with the royal family. It is sad. We're actually on our own. So when you talk about the global terrorism index, keeping Nigeria at number 4, and Nigeria had become a killing hub. Well, that's nothing new. All I'm saying is, thank God that the world is not beginning to discuss Nigeria's problem. I pray the world organizes to do something very quickly about Nigeria before we all get killed.
All right, sir. So make I quickly show you one evidence to one of the things the way we say you don't dey talk. You know, say if you don't dey talk, say this army people then get a law of do not engage. Will be not to they believe them. But here is an evidence of an army officer telling the fighters the same thing that you've been saying. Take a listen to it.
Okay? You don't need to. We have sufficient platforms that should do that. And they will have better reach than your personal weapons. Keep your ammunition for self-defense for now. If there is any immediate threat to you, that is when you use it. But please allow us to use the bigger guns so that we'll clear the road. Is that clear? I don't want all this indisciplined firing that people will just be. You are not seeing anything. You waste your ammunition without killing even a pigeon. We don't want that. So just take it easy. We'll line up, we'll move, and we'll get there by the grace of God. Okay? So we're not going to waste. You don't need to. We have sufficient platforms that should do that. And they will have better reach than your personal weapons. Keep your ammunition for self-defense for now. If there is any immediate threat to you, that is when you use it. But please allow us to use the bigger guns so that we'll clear the road. Is that clear? I don't want all this indisciplined firing that people will just be. You are not seeing anything. You waste your ammunition without killing even a pigeon. We don't want that. So just take it easy. We'll line up, we'll move, and we'll get there by the grace of God. Okay? So we're not going to waste time. That Emrah should start moving now. Okay.
All right, so Dr. Katch, let me bring you back to the studio very quickly. So, Dr. Katch, can you hear me? Now, this now testament to waiting you they talk. You know, say when you talk, say army then get an instruction not to engage the terrorists. A lot of us or a lot of people feel think say no be true you they talk. But unfortunately, it is so true because we see the commanding officer for inside this video. They go ahead to tell the army guys and say, may they no engage. Say so that they no go waste the bullets and what they get because, and he even acknowledged the fact that these guys have more superior weapon than our own military. Then get more superior weapon past our military. And so they should not bother to engage because they will go and waste the ammunition. And a lot of questions just they go through the mind of people. How is it that the army gets less weapon? How it be said that they count the number of weapon, they count the number of ammunition where be said that they give the army people. But then the terrorists, they will be non-state actors, go fit shooting indiscriminately. They go waste any amount of bullets. You need to pay them for body, they need to count them. But our own army, we're supposed to secure a whole country. Would they count the number of ammunition we they give them? So this issue, it don't they worry a lot of people for Belewa because people don't they talk say how it could they possible say the army officers and our fighters go fit get high morale with this kind of instruction, because looking at their faces when they give them this instruction, you will notice that ordinarily morale dropped. It looks like they were unhappy, but unfortunately there's nothing they can do about it. They like say then they in high spirit, they like say then get the energy to even move on. But of course they had to answer yes, sir. But if you see that ginger for their body say, oh, then they're okay with the instruction and they're willing to go all out to fight for our country, Nigeria. So a lot of times when you, Dr. Katch, don't talk these things, a lot of us, we no ever feel grace saying are true. Say, I may get such instruction of not to engage the terrorists. But unfortunately, we found that out in this video where the commanding officer spoke to them, telling them not to engage the terrorists, but just to defend themselves. How do you defend yourself to start engaging the person? You shoot to defend yourself. How you go shoot to defend yourself when you go kill the person? I don't understand. That's what a lot of people are saying. Well, Dr. Katch, as we wait for you to join us back, make her quickly remind us a lot of other things that we'll be saying inside the news, because I'm not taking us through all the items for Inside the News today. So more items for Inside the News very quickly. As it gets to do with this Global Terrorism Index, APC government dancing on blood of Nigerians, PDP. Now they tell APC this one. Some people come, they wonder, say, which faction of PDP they talk this one? Is it Wike faction or another faction? If you're saying that they're dancing in the blood of Nigerians. Electoral Act 2026, Yoruba Ronu Forum slams National Assembly over omission of certificate forgery. How dare you remove certificate forgery as a means to use contest the election results? Why? Why you will remove certificate forgery? That means on a legalized forgery. Dr. Katch, thank you for joining us back. Let's hear you if it's better now.
I can hear you speak.
Okay, so we can hear you now. Your sound is good. Yes. So I was saying that the do not engage thing. You saw the video of the commanding officer I played, where he was actually telling his fighters not to engage the terrorists, but just to defend themselves. So a lot of the things you've said here before, where a lot of people feel no agree, say not true. This New Testament say indeed not true. Say they ask people our military not to engage. But right now, where our military don't begin kill, they killed a lot of them. Just like you said, could it be that indeed that order don't change? Now, waiting make them kill a lot of them. We saw over 60 of them lying down when they killed them just after the day after the Medjugorje bomb blast, just yesterday. They killed a lot of them.
What you're saying is simple. There are still souls who have been appealed to gently to tell the truth, not to kill this terrorist. Remember when Gumi and some other Fulani leaders said we should not kill their kids, and these are their children. But they also failed to tell the terrorists to lay down their arms. It's a very difficult thing to tell a soldier not to shoot back when someone else is trying to kill. It's a difficult issue. So, following the reversal of that policy of do not engage, the Nigerian army has killed a lot of this.
See, Dr. Katch, no way where anybody fit tell me, say our village people have no different inside within the happen to our call. Because even as we don't try wait to troubleshoot backstage, your voice is still very cracked. I don't know what it is, but I don't know why most times it is with you. When I get you, now they get this audio problem. And it don't get too constant for a couple of days now, except to use phone line. Maybe only the phone conversation, they never fit interfere with, because I don't understand why we always have this issue whenever I'm talking to you. Let's see if we can divert to phone calls, because it's very unfair that we cannot hear you. And they make like say they make a rubbish of the conversation. You they talk, but we need to hear what you they talk, they crack. I don't know why it is like this. It is very, very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. I would never have thought that a thing like this still happens, but it's just the unfortunate thing when they get this kind of recurrent issue every time we be saying. Dr. Katch, sorry, can you hear me now, sir?
I can hear you.
Please, let's maintain this way, sir. Go ahead, sir. Because it's very unfortunate. I don't know why this thing they happen every time when I deal with you. It is so sad. Go ahead, sir.
Well, you need to understand. You see now the Sultan visiting Tinubu. You see that Islamic leaders are speaking up. They've not been able to talk since the shock of the American landing in Nigeria hit them. But you now also see soldiers trying to advise people to be calm. It tells you that through our soldiers are killing the terrorists. But because these patrons of the terrorists are still in high places, they are now going beyond the commanding officers to now speak to officers in field to please stop the soldiers from killing their boys. Yeah, they don't have the courage to tell their boys to lay down their arms. That's what you're seeing. That's why you see that guy say, don't engage, but defend yourself. How can you defend yourself without engaging to shoot those people? The do not engage policy is a crazy one. And I want you to understand there are still soldiers in the service who are still loyal to the patrons of terrorists. And this is where we have problem. You're not going to have 100%, compliance when you suddenly now tell them shoot at any gun that cocks near your ear. Shoot, engage to kill anyone who dares to try to kill you. And they are having great success. And as they are doing that, even the Fulanis who are engaged in this kidnap for ransom, you can see it goes off. The police are beginning to arrest some of them. The army is beginning to apprehend a lot of them because there has been a change in instructions. But if we're going to win this war, we will need to be able to go to the field, find out which of the officers in the field are with the new instructions of the government to kill whoever it is that seems to threaten the soldiers. So it's still a divided country. Nobody should lie to you that the country is one. No. There are those, as you rightly pointed out earlier, who will go against the government. You can see those who did coup. The reason for the coup is very simple. Those who gave up power are not happy that the people now in power are not allowing their militias to have the free day. The idea is to subjugate and totally capture the country. And they are playing the same game as was practiced in Afghanistan. It penetrates the security services and then defeat the country from inside the security services. But because our country's diversity is the way it is, you're not going to be able to get everybody to obey that instruction of everyone should give up and allow the Fulanis to have their way. It's not going to work. So that's the problem we have. So you're going to see their leaders like the Sultan now going to try to talk to Tinubu because the thing has turned around. We now have some kind of momentum. The Americans are here, and those who were very, very afraid before to do anything due to fear are beginning to do things differently. So it's not going to change. It will not change very quickly because the security services have been penetrated by those who agree. Look at what happened among the states. Katsina State was 100% in it. Kaduna State was 100% in it and conceding a lot of territory to these jihadists. And that's why can't you see, even the agreement they say the jihadists had with some of these governors in the north, some of the terrorists have thrown those agreements to the gutter. And they are simply going back to their old ways. That's why no matter what you try to negotiate with these terrorists, it doesn't work.
Okay, sir.
It doesn't work.
All right, sir. Okay. We'll still come back to this terrorism act. We're not done with it yet. But going back to what's happening in the United Kingdom, remember, say before the president's travel, a group of I think British Prime Minister, British MPs, them, I think over 200 British lawmakers, including members of the All Party Parliamentary Group for Freedom of Religion or Believe (APPG), excuse me, they behold Prime Minister Keir Starmer to account regarding the safe visit of Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. First of all, a lot of them in the query wait, why we go get that kind of thing after all the deaths when they happen for Nigeria? They criticize, the lawmakers criticize Tema, the content and say make it confront, then been tell them make it confront Tinubu over the deaths and when they happen for Nigeria, way confronts the president for. And they raise a lot of other issues. But a lot of people they talk say consign UK, whether person raise issue or raise issue. But diplomatically and in front of the world, this whole thing will happen now with the UK and the fact that they deliberately refuse to raise questions concerning human rights treatment for Nigeria by the Nigerian president during this visit and the killings for the country. How you take CM say the world will use perceive UK or the British government based on the reality of what's going to happen for Nigeria?
Well, you need to understand certain things. The British government is only interested in economic advantages it can continue to extract from these relations with Nigeria. And they know the truth because they have daily intelligence briefings from their embassies here. They know what's going on. They probably think that the government is in with the killers and they don't want to upset the government by breaking up such issues. It is not possible that killings can sustain on this level in a country like this where you have relations with, and yet you do nothing to stick to it. You do nothing to advise the government. You do nothing to ask questions about these killings that have been going. I want to that the British are simply behaving like the French.
Hell.
They think that the government is okay with it, and so they don't want to embarrass the government. They are simply dealing with the government for the economic advantages that they could gain from the relationship. And that's why they know what's going on. So they probably do not want to anger the government. That's why they are not trying to bring up such issues. They think that such relationship will sustain by them being blind to atrocities in the country. They will also tell you that they do discuss these things, but in very secretive and private discussions that is not known to the public. We don't know. But let's watch. Sometimes things that are discussed in diplomatic circles are done in hush-hush rooms. It only takes time before we hear them. But I am very disappointed at the behavior of the British government and the French government in face of manifest Fulani genocide actions against the other people of the Sahel region. It didn't start in Nigeria, don't forget that. This crisis started from Central African Republic before it went to Mali, and the Fulani were fighting in central Mali with the Dogons. And then from that, it moved from there to Burkina Faso. From there, it moved through the countries until it bettered in Nigeria. And Nigeria was not able to calibrate an intelligent reaction to the Fulani war across the Sahel. So if the British and the French will want to pretend like the ostrich that they don't see or hear nothing, or they do not want to anger the government by bringing up these discussions, it simply speaks to the quality of relationship that we have been having with these people long before now. Because you need to understand that what you're seeing right now in the open, it's an honest exposition about the kind of relationships that we have had with these countries long before now.
All right, sir. So okay,
Yes.
I was going to ask that part of this protection and avoiding us from embarrassment, if you look for, because if you look at the videos, I don't want to play them, make they like say they cause us embarrassment too. But if you watch the videos closely, you go see several locations where you be say the king get to hold on our president, hold in hand, so that maybe you no go miss a step or you no go up. So people come they say you just they hold them out of courtesy or they hold them so that make no cause any kind of accident, so that waiting happen for talk if you know happen. That now waiting people come begin talk. But do you I mean you're a very learned man and well-traveled man. Do you think that's just out of courtesy we making a hula president like that be beforehand? Or nah because of any other thing? Hello, sir. Dr. Katch, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. You hear what I ask you, sir?
Yes, you're asking me about the countries, but go on, bring it again.
Okay, I say if you notice for inside the videos for during the tour for Windsor, you go see say King Charles been the holder president for hand. Sometimes when they won't step down, when they won't work, I go hold them for hand. So I the ask whether say me I know sabi a lot of things. I never travel like that. So I want to know whether it they in line with courtesy, with the British courtesy, for the prince to hold the king to hold that president hand like that, like small Peking, or now just because say they want to avoid, maybe people come they gossip say maybe they want to avoid what happen for talking may not happen again. But is it in line with the British courtesy? You go no past me.
Well, you know very well if the president is known to always fall,
Ew.
the English will not want things to happen. So I think it's very good that King Charles is preemptively acting to make sure that President Tinubu doesn't suffer any embarrassment before.
So not to avoid embarrassment, not be saying na courtesy, not be saying na one of the ways for royals to show courtesy, not be so. People say na courtesy now. Say you just did show.
Ask yourself who else on earth has ever visited the United Kingdom and the king or the queen hold such honor. The king now knows that the president has a history of treating. So holding the president shows that he supports the president physically, he is aware of the president's ability to follow, and anything happens that way, he doesn't want that embarrassment to occur.
Ew.
And thank God it didn't happen. And it simply shows you that Prince Charles is caring.
Ew.
So
Ew.
we thank him for understanding.
Yes, King, thank you.
And also, yes, we thank him for understanding and proactively being his brother's keeper.
Oh.
I think that's a very, very good thing to do. If you learn about the man who's coming to your house, then you take all precautions to make sure
he's safe.
You and him are not involved while he is in your house.
Oh.
I think Charles is acting in line with intelligence. He doesn't want him of what happened in Turkey. Itself, kingdom.
Ew.
So I think that is a good one for us. It shows that Prince Charles is a very caring man.
Ew. Now, still talking about the UK very quickly before we move on. So, now, one of the things in way they happen for inside this UK visit, or one of the things that will benefit for the visit, and I say we'll sign a £746 million export financing deal and a memorandum of understanding (MOU) for the rehabilitation of the Lagos Sports Complex. Now, people they talk say another port again for Lagos, another port again. What's happened? Not only Lagos. You remember say they don't they the one where we say Oga Tinubu give Chagre now for Snake Island, another port again there. And the one we'll get for Lekki Deep Sea Port, that one day again. They say they won't do all this so they congest Apapa. But people say, and only Lagos day Nigeria, why that one? But then there's also another deal where we say involve a £70 million for British Steel to supply 120,000 tons of steel to port refurbishment for refurbishment for Nigeria. So a lot of people they talk say, why we will get a deal on steel importation when we get Ajaokuta, where we don't spend plenty money for? Why we spend money, make Britain they bring us steel when we don't spend all the money for Ajaokuta? Make I let you speak on those trade deals and agreements so we don't get sir, and how it's supposed to benefit Nigeria past the way it will benefit UK.
One thing you have to realize,
Mm.
a lot of the policies that Tinubu pursues are not social causes. These are private initiatives he does in his own mind to help his region, to help his state, to help labor. So what I will tell you is it's wrong to think Tinubu will change his way, his style, and you also don't need to blame him too much. Because this nepotism has actually started in the Buhari administration. So Tinubu has only just collected and taken the nepotism to a new height. And that's, we share it. So if you going to spend all the money he borrowed, he makes on Lagos, it's not new. Those things you're talking about pale into its significance when you think about what has happened before now, vis-a-vis the Lagos Calabar road. And we know you spend all that money to develop Lagos. That project may not move out of Lagos by the time you do the job. But then you would have spent that money to build all sorts of fantastic futuristic road networks all across Lagos in the name of Lagos Calabar Coastal Road. So I'm not surprised at what you're saying. It simply points to a continuity of the president's policy of spending everything he can in the area, because people are saying that he actually doesn't see a continuation of the country as it is right now. You can't blame him. Buhari did the same. And so if Tinubu comes and continues as he said in Buhari's style, that's what we're seeing. That's what we're seeing.
All right, sir. So, moving on to some other issues. The part of the controversy way, don't rise up for this thing. And the fact say some other MPs then still don't come out, can't they vex well for STEM and say why ask Tinubu anything will consign the debts under in watch. You remember say they been tell and make it ask, ask. Then they vex or well say ask, and then they vex or the kind of presidential treatment, the royal treatment, they give Tinubu. Say, why we will spend all that money? Why some people they talk say part of the money in Nigerian money, others they talk say no. Why the government? There are people they talk say why the government go spend that kind of money to give this kind of welcome, especially when it be say people they die for inside that country. While others they talk say again, not just out of courtesy, now them invite them, so now them get to look for a way to make them day comfortable. Others they also gossip say no, the invitation was actually as a result of lobby. We don't even know they will be true, now they won't be true. But one of the things where the outcome of this event today, in the fact say some IPOB people they not agree. Yesterday they protest, today they come out again, come protest. In fact, one man was almost arrested by British government when they talk say Tinubu is a non-drug lord. Tinubu is a non-drug lord. He they talk him. People come and say Oga, calm down. Police almost arrest him for UK there. When did they talk up? Make her take your feedback, sir.
Those are friends of Mr. Reno Mocking.
Reno friends.
The campaign, Reno Mocking, the structures of the campaign, Reno Mocking established in London are still there. So if Reno left those people, we arrange that campaign and then run to become certain friends. The media administration, did not disengage the structures that he organized them run. So is not there, and people have continued the embarrassing campaign against Tinubu using Greenwich words. Tinubu is a non-drug law. So that is what I would tell you is that continuation of mockeries arrangements in London.
Ah.
I think,
No, now these people don't get anything to do with Reno Mokri now. So he said, if they try talking, Reno Mokri set the precedence to call Tinubu a drug lord in London. So others they follow in level.
Exactly. There's nothing new about what you're saying. It is a standard established by Reno Mokri. And so even though Reno seems to be behaving like a man settled, nothing says that the people that he organized in London will stop in regards to what he expects them to do.
Ah, but is that not embarrassing for us, though, that this has to happen and this keeps happening? Is that not embarrassing?
Well, you call it embarrassing, but that is who we are. Whether you like it or not, we need to appreciate that that's who we are. We know set up these protocols of campaign against Mr. Tinubu based on the history of the United States. So I don't really see anything in this. I've not seen you about it. So kudos to Mr. Williams. The people are continuing to do what he set them up for. Maybe he didn't tell them that they have to stop. So that's where we are.
Ah, maybe he didn't tell them that it's time to stop.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Reno Mokri didn't tell them it's time to stop. That's why they continue to campaign against Tinubu about him being a drug lord. So these are just Reno Mokri's people. And there's nothing new about it.
But how about the IPOB guys that campaigned massively yesterday too? The same thing, because they campaigned so massively yesterday. IPOB members. Excuse me. Sir.
These ones are just the other leg of the campaign against the Nigerian system. The IPOB people are still there. So, and don't forget, anybody can use the name POB, but the IPOB, for all I know, it's an organization born in London. It was there in London before organizing London. And London is the best place for the IPOB. Before Mr. Mikami left London to travel down to Nigeria to continue a campaign in Agari State before he was busted at the Golden Philip Hotel. And then from there, he got to his home base where the army attacked his village. What you're probably seeing is a continuation of that his campaign. Of course, Mr. Nandekano is today incarcerated and is locked up in Soviet prison. So, as far as his business with the Nigerian government, I do not know. We would not expect his people to go to bed. So, we shouldn't be surprised at the continuation of this issue until he brings our government such protocol towards bringing these issues to close.
All right, sir. So let me quickly, I had told you I had interviewed a young man here from Goza community in Borno State. He had quite a lot to say. Let me play some excerpts of the conversations we had with him. I beg, just help me listen to some of the conversation when we get with them. Then make I take your reaction based on the revelations and we make for inside that conversation. Please take a listen, sir.
When these people were threatening my life, initially I thought like maybe it's just a usual thing until people now begin to reach out to me. Look, you can see they are circulating this thing, that wherever you are, keep your location secret because they have networks everywhere. These people can harm you. That's when I so much became afraid when I remember that, okay, some of our brethren were actually kidnapped in the same manner in their own house. So I so much became afraid that, okay, since these people cannot hide it and came to my DM shouting, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, you a small pagan, who are you to be speaking in Gaza that Do you think you amount to something in Gaza? So I was seeing it as an empty threat initially, until elderly people begin to call me, reaching out to me that, look, it's not a joke. They have circulated it in WhatsApp. Wherever you are, be careful with your movement. So even to post online now, I'm scared because if my location is compromised, I don't know what these people are up to because they have infiltrated everywhere. Just yesterday, Boko Haram tried to overthrow Maiduguri. Like like I earlier said that there is one group, Save Nigerian group, and with the Mike Arnold, they are planning to hear like brief on US about the Goshen massacre because Mike Arnold has been on this genocide issue, trying to like people should not be worship God, that people should have a freedom of religion. So they now decided after the Goshen massacre that let American government listen to this thing. So they did a flyer in which I was very happy now that Goshen is now going to receive attention in America. I decided to share the flyer in WhatsApp group. So people begin to
just
send
share
me
the flyer on your WhatsApp group. You just share the flyer
yes,
on your
yes, just sharing it. Nothing is just sharing the flyer. Then elderly people in another WhatsApp group that they said, I have been paid by American government to come and destabilize Nigeria, that I've received money in dollar. They mentioned my name in that screenshot that I sent you, that I'm one of the people that have collected money to form that America has interest in Nigeria. I was now like trying to explain to people that the number of people terrorists has killed in Gaza alone. In fact, there is one of EYN former president has documented names of people that have died in Gaza with children and women. There are more than 100,000.
Kai karamin kafiri, karamin arne, ni Aliyu na fi karfinka. Ni Aliyu na fi karfinka ko Paparoma shugaban arnan duniya, Paparoma Jopol shugaban arnan duniya, shugaban kafiran duniya, wallahi tallahi na fi karfin shi. Saboda na gaya maka ni ina da Kur'ani. Kuma yanzu kuna gani ai da Israel da Birtaniya da American Iran kadai ta fi karfinku.
You say that you are just a small pagan, that there is nothing you can do to a Muslim, that not you small pagan, even Pope John Paul, you don't even know the current form. Even Pope John Paul is too small, that Islamic world, they are depending on Quran, they have advanced. He said, don't you see what Iran is doing to United States and Britain? Don't you see? He said Allah is with them, that I'm just a small pagan that can do nothing. So that's what you are saying in that voice note.
Fi karfinku wallahi. Kuma bari in dawo kanku. Ku arnan gwashe da kuke kokarin ku ga cewa kuna shi genocide ko? To ina so ka sani. I have already have so many abinda baka taba tsammani ba kuma zan gaya maka a yanzu. Kun je kuna amfani da documents na wasu, fake documents na wasu, ana rokan ku aiki. Kuna amfani da sunayen wasu fake name. Ka saurara. Jira zuwa ran da zan je in exposing wannan abun a news. Wannan ina gaya maka rubuta ka ajiye yau ina gaya maka.
So he said that you pagans from Goshen, he want to warn us that he has discovered that we from that side, we are using fake name to get job. It is very funny to me because
all right, so Dr.
have a
Katch,
job.
one of
I'm
the
just
things
a
this guy
survivor.
talk, we catch my attention. Now, way in talk, say even the person where they threaten him for speaking up against the genocide of his people from Gaza, now actually a very literate person, although it's not a literate Muslim, and that the guy said that he believes that the fact that he should go, that their community in Gaza has been taking over. I don't think I captured that part, and that he believes that if he dies fighting for the fact that Gaza has been conquered, that he will die a reasonable death because Allah will receive his soul. But that if this guy dies, he would have died in vain. You know, a lot of people don't understand, say number of people still they die for Northeast in this number. Most of them are Christians. But let me quickly play something that a security operative said yesterday on Channels Television that corroborates what they said.
Threat and to clamp down on them. But also, Sean, we need to understand that many local communities are between between a rock and the deep blue sea, because many parts of rural Borno are essentially under the control of either Boko Haram or ISWAP. And there are people in some of those places who are farming, who are accessing the rivers to fish and all that. And for them, Boko Haram pounces and kills them whenever they volunteer information to the security forces. Let me give you one example. There was an attack in my own state, Yobe State, in Mafa village of one of our local governments last year, where around 120 people were killed. What happened was this village volunteered information to the military, and then Boko Haram sent them a letter saying, you have given information
Katch,
about us to the military.
Let me quickly take your thought on this. The fact that we don't speak so much about the level of complicity and how people, use the die for inside of these places. And this ideology, what we go feed do? This in our results they talk about now. What we go feed do to change this ideology where people think, say, because a state has been conquered, or your people have been conquered, you come a place, pursue the people where they the village, make them get out, go their way, say you don't conquer them, and waiting God ask you to do be that. How can we change this ideology? A lot of people think, say, say the Buhari administration talk, say, they free a lot of conquered territories from Borno State. Say no place of Borno State, they under captive again. But unlike what's in the young man they talk now, he said differently. There were places there are still places under Borno State during Buhari administration and this administration where they under the control of ISWAP, and this military security personnel corroborates it. So that means over the years we get communities we still there under the control of terrorists. Then what are we talking about? When we hear say, oh, local governments were in control, but the APC government came and no place is in control of the terrorists anymore. Is it that we're not telling ourselves the truth, or we're just being half truthful? Go ahead, sir.
We have, we've been running this from governance of lies and deceit. Governance of propaganda. We can see the government openly being in denial. If the government can be publicly in denial about what's going on in Canada, despite what we know, you will ask yourself, why are people silent? Most people in the South are silent because they believe some of these people being killed by the Fulani now. We are all in cahoots with the Fulani against the Indians. So, if you were in cahoots with the Fulani against the Igbo, and now the Fulani turn on you, especially like the TV at the Pachama, everybody in the South will just keep quiet and say, leave those people alone. This is their issue, this is their problem. But just like me, who took the risk of speaking for openly, I was doing this for 12 days before the Americans came. And you can imagine what I suffered on television. I suffered in the public space, what I suffered in the political space, exclusion, anger from those who would rather have to keep quiet. It's the same thing that's happening to these people you're seeing right now. I speak from experience that I saw while speaking of honestly, openly about this thing. But I can tell you it's not an easy thing when you decide to speak the truth about an ill that is being supported by the government in power. And this is true. The Buhari administration has acted itself.
Hello, sir. Oh dear. Okay. Dr. Katch, let me call you directly. I do not like what's going on with these networks. So let me call directly so we have a better and clearer conversation. I don't know why this happens every day I'm with you anyway. It's becoming a bit tiring. I do hope that we can look for a lasting solution to the problem. and make it not happen again. Dr. Katch, can you hear me, sir?
Hello.
Yes, sir. So Dr. Katch, I don't know what you will go feed do to solve this network problem between you and I every time. It's either is a network or a sound problem.
I have applied to change my network provider.
Okay, sir.
I think in the next 7 days, I probably will have a new provider.
Okay, sir.
And I just want to try everything to be sure
Okay.
that the static interference is defeated.
Okay, sir.
But don't forget, the government that fights to prevent the telling of the truth will go to any length to force a denial of service to people like me and you who have been there to do this. Even you entertaining me, I'm sure you come under trust and people have called to warn you, and even some have told you, don't do it again. It's all part of the strategy of trying to keep the truth from being heard. If the government is bent on hiding the truth, they will go to any length to do this. I know what I'm doing, and there are others who have also decided to do the same thing like I am, like my friend. So once you tell them, the government, you don't care about what to do, you match them, they will probably just leave you today. But then there are things that they can do to you, there are things they control. I am harassed on my Instagram account, they write paper to block it. My Facebook pages, they write to block it. Same thing with quite a lot of the things. You know, they write, they complain everywhere, simply to force a denial of service on you. And that I understand. So these are the things that we see when you speak the truth in a society like this that has been captured by, as we say, a minority that is bent on having their way. Look at them speaking up and saying they don't know why the Americans are here. Well, they will soon learn when the Americans sit proper and we start doing the things that we should do.
All right, sir. So going back to the question I asked you about the capturing of and conquests generally, especially in Borno State. Because from what's in tell me say a lot of Christian communities for Borno State right now, they desolate. And we are unaware of this. Hello, sir.
Yes, go on.
So I was talking to you about what's going on in Borno State and the fact that a lot of communities in Borno State are desolate. Especially Christian communities, but we're unaware of this and we'll barely talk about them. And when we hear say Borno State they're under attack, we could just feel say, oh, I'm basically Muslims, because we feel say Northeast, North Central, and Northwest rather, the Muslim community, But we don't know say a lot of the Christians and where did that place, they also face a lot of issues.
The problem in Borno State is multifaceted. The introduction of violence through Boko Haram wasn't organized by people who are in government. They have used the Boko Haram terrorism to gain a grip on the state. So as far as they are there, nobody can compete against them in terms of power. They own the power, they control the power, and they have now escalated that to the national space, using the same strategy which they did in Borno nationally. So the election doesn't mean nothing. They will perpetually own the places where the terrorists occupy. They will do elections, bring results from there, of course, written results, and tell you that they won the elections there. This is a game. So if they can use that to dominate the country, that's what it is. So whatever you do, they don't care about human life. All they want is to be in control of governance. As they are in control of governance, so will they also protect this violent element whom that we're discussing about now.
All right, sir.
The country is in a mess.
All right, sir. So talking about,
I doubt how long this can sustain for.
exactly,
It is so bad.
exactly where I'm headed.
It is a regrettable situation that we're in.
Exactly where I am headed, because a lot of people they talk say while some people they complain about the state of the nation under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, our ratings globally in so many ways they depreciate. A lot of people they talk saying no, you know they that bad. That President Tinubu is going ahead to reshaping the economy of Nigeria. In they take bold step where nobody else don't take before. In they do things where nobody do where they better for us. He's actually pushing the image of this country positively. Let me take your thoughts once again, especially as it is today, on President Tinubu's policies and how far Nigeria did presently now under in watch.
You don't expect psychopaths who think for their daily bread to say anything different. I am not surprised at the way a lot of our countrymen are behaving. They simply, as they say, act in appreciation of wherever their stomach fits. And this is the problem we have. People do not speak the truth anymore. People have taken sides and said, look, those who are dying can die. All I want is I want to get something from the government. And if the government says that we should deny what's going on, we'll deny. So forget what's going on. I don't know about it. I'm in Abuja. I can't say it. People are dying in Meduguri. How does that concern them? And it goes on and it goes on. So when you, even the shootings, the killings you saw in Meduguri 2 days ago, 3 days ago, while the president was in London, there are those who are good to tell you that those things are not real.
Wow.
It has been here for a very long time and it can go on for as far as they care. This is the country that we now live in. It's not a very good place to be in. Nigeria is not a very good place.
So, but do you believe that the president Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the best person so far? Is the best president so far to have handled Nigeria based on what most of his supporters are saying?
I think one, Tinubu is incompetent in managing Nigeria's diversity. Secondly, security-wise, the first duty of government is to protect lives and property.
Absolutely.
Under Tinubu, that has failed, of course, so you can cut your judgment from that. You do not judge a government from rhetoric. You judge a government from actions, from its results, from the things you can see, from the deliverables, not rhetoric. A government where the economy is good, security is fine, from speeches made by government officials, yet you saw what happened in Meduguri. Yet you have up to 600,000 people living in concentration camps due to their being displaced from their homes in Kwande, in Ushongo, all in Benue State, and Vandakea, and other areas that does not give anybody any hope for being happy. I think our country is challenged.
Oh, wow.
We need to accept that this crisis is this.
Okay.
There's no need asking or pretending as if things are okay. Things are not okay.
But people, you see Sunday Igboho now, sir. Sunday Igboho will follow Nnamdi Kanu, they fight for freedom. Now, Sunday Igboho now one of the major campaigners of Tinubu. In fact, videos of them they show say in the talk say Obio Atiko Mona no come anywhere Southwest come campaign because Tinubu don't take over. Now waiting in the talk, and people believe that he's actually done and the president has done well enough for this for the country.
What that teaches you is we didn't know who Sunday Igboho was. We only saw one aspect of him, of being courageous and fighting off Fulani people who came to the Oyo Forest Reserve. We are now beginning to see other parts of him, and so you can be able to now understand properly who he truly is. So I think it's not very, very good to make your full judgment of somebody from impression. You know, in our African cultural way, that's a 4-day husbandry. When a man comes to marry a girl, they tell the girl to go home, follow the man home for 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
And she stays for 4 days so they can understand. So they can, the elders, the ladies, the grandmothers can try to decode who she is and try to learn a little bit about the girl. And we didn't know some people very well. Maybe we're not beginning to see the other side of things. So, and I'm also not surprised. Psychophancy has its own way. You know, these things can assume very, very extreme platforms. Psychophants can do all sorts of things. I think what some people who did probably speaks to the balance of the man and who he is. I am not surprised. I am not surprised at all.
All right, sir. Okay, so Dr. Katch, I will be opening the phone line shortly, but I need to respond to some of the questions here. And Nigeria's phone lines are open 0817-029-4077. That's the number to call. 0817-029-4077. That's the number to call. Or you click on the link on the pinned post, and you know, the link will bring you straight to the studio to join the conversation. Now, Yomi, I have your time. You know, I know you've been seeking for my attention, and because you mentioned my name in this particular message, I will respond to you and respond to you very accordingly. You said, Precious, I think you're spending too much of your energy to lambast your president. You should cut him slack. He's working hard to reposition Nigeria's battered image and economy. It's a lie, Yomi. Even you know, say you lie. You see, it is very sad that we have people who are psychophantic so much that they lie not just to themselves, but they lie to their souls. First of all, the president, so far, whatever he is doing to reposition the economy, it's not repositioning enough. Because people are dying, people are crying, they don't know where the next meal will come from. You may wonder why my studio is not properly lit the way it used to be. I can't use my full studio lights. You know why? I don't have lights. I have to use my inverter, so I have to cut down on my energy size so that I don't trip off while I'm on air, like I tripped off yesterday. So I had to manage lights. I had to use lesser lights. I can't use my studio lights. For days, I don't have lights. If I didn't have inverter, I cannot have lights. Is this the repositioning? For the same president who told us, if you don't have lights for the first 4 years, don't vote for me again. Why are you a liar and such a psychophant and a deceit? If it is Atiku Abubakar who made that promise and is unable to fulfill the promise till now, would you still cut him this kind of slack that you're cutting the president? I am not after whoever is in power. I am here to hold any leader accountable, including my father, if he becomes the president of Nigeria and refuses to give Nigerians a better lease of life. Now, I don't know whether you don't see any young girl. Wait, I didn't get that video on social media. But this young lady on social media was basically crying on air. You know why she was crying? That she pays 1,500 naira every day to charge her phone. And she charges her phone twice a day because she had to create content. Now, her hustle be that which they use manage. Because she cannot afford to buy fuel for about 1,500 per liter that it is selling right now. For a president who promised to give us lights, and you're telling me to cut the president a slack, you mean? Shame on you. Shame on you and everyone who would see the truth and call it lies like you. Shame on you. Where the president does good, you see me praise him on this platform that he's done good. But where he's not lived up to his responsibility, I will speak. You cannot stop me from speaking. It's not possible. It's such a pity that we have people. I don't understand. I don't want to use words that will offend you because I know Kukuma know whether you senior me. May not be like, say, I don't get home training, sir. But it's a lie. How can Nigerians are facing one of the most difficult moments of their lives at this time. People are crying. Now, let me tell you something. Did you know that the UK government, as well as the US government, and most other governments inside the world, they help their people cushion the effects of this this rise in the price of oil? Did they help them cushion them? I know somebody who lives in the UK whose energy has been subsidized because of what's going on. Countries are already helping their people with palliative measures to cope with what's happening based on the Iran, Israel, and US war. But what has the Nigerian government done to help Nigerians manage the situation? You live wherever you are. You know that your country is doing something to help you cushion the effect of what's going on globally. What has your own country, Nigeria, done? If people where busy live abroad, they be just immigrants, or they don't even have UK passport, or they are subsidizing their energy for them. Because they notice that because of what is going on now, there is likelihood that energy costs, of course, will overwhelm them. They are subsidizing it for them. If the way we be say oil price use go up, now the way we be say people they use buy fuel now for US, UK, and other countries, their citizens for them protest. They for them protest. How do you just throw all of this on Nigerians at a time and you expect them not to talk? You collect from Nigerians and you're not giving them back. And even while you're collecting, you are not even showing any decency in also spending yourself. The same president who promised he's going to cut the size of his entourage by 60%, are you seeing the number of people the president went to it? Now, forget about the number of ministers that went on this UK trip and the number of governors and senators that went, or National Assembly members. He go cry when he hear the number of their aides who follow go this trip. The number of aides that embarked on this trip and the amount to be spending on Esther Code. And you say Nigerians should not talk. Shame on you again, sir, whoever you are and wherever you're from. Shame on you that you see this kind of evil and you call it good. Shame on you. It is such a pity that we have people who see this kind of things and cannot speak up. We wouldn't have had a problem as Nigerians if our president is leaving the talk that he's saying. Oh, people manage. And we see him just go with 3-4 member people, including his wife and all that. We will say, oh, our president understand. Or even make a speech to show empathy that, my country is facing an existential problem of terrorism. We also I use this opportunity of this visit to call on the UK to do what they can, even if it's an advisory role to help us fight it. No mention of the lives that's been lost under your watch. No mention. And you say you have best interest at heart. Oh, shame on you again, Yomi. I wish I can see your face. Please join live on this show. Let me tackle you one-on-one with data, facts, and figures. Let's tackle each other one-on-one. Please. So you should stop jumping from platform to platform because you're being paid to gaslight Nigerians. I can't tell you the personal loss I suffer. Personally, I just told you. I can't even use my full studio lights. You can see my studio is poorly lit. Why? Because I am giving myself energy. Because of my personal energy. I've not had light. First of all, for almost 2 months, I was cut off national grid. If I manage to have it, it's so epileptic. And I'm paying. I'm being taxed. I'm paying taxes. And you're saying cut the president is slack. Because now the same man will talk, say, don't feel sorry for me. I asked for this job and I'm doing it. Why the propaganda on works? If the economical development or whatever it is working, you will know. And please stop this bullshit that you people say that it will take time for it to show results. The Argentine president became president in less than 4 months. There's a roadmap of where he was headed. Nigerian people saw that he was headed somewhere. They could feel the impact that he was headed somewhere. If we're headed somewhere meaningful, we will see the impact from the get-go. We'll feel it. We'll see the vision. We'll see it that we're headed somewhere. What is this thing you people are always doing? You come to platforms and you gaslight Nigerians, come with false narratives and make it look like whatever it's happening, it's not happening. And you're in another country, enjoying the good governance in another country. And you cannot hold your own people accountable for good governance. What in Nigeria is the axle? You sign social contracts with your people. We give you our resources to manage. Or you use that resources so you can manage. Give us better life. That's just the problem. Have you seen the number of minerals being mined in Zamfara? Even in Osun State recently, the whole water for Osun State, their river, they polluted, it's brown because of mining. Tell me how much would they make from gold from Osun State? How much it day for inside, how much they give us for inside our national budgets? How much it day for inside our budgets? But oil from my village, they for inside on our budgets. What are you even talking about? I beg, I don't want to talk too much. I've been saying I don't go talk. Please, Dr. Katch, sorry that I had to take the talk from you. I just needed to answer a sycophant who, was just gaslighting Nigerians. He thinks we're being hard on President Tinubu by saying that perhaps his policies are not policing well for Nigerians. And I don't want us to fly with that wrong narrative so that people would not, if the president does well, we'll say, there are times you, Dr. Katch, have supported President Tinubu. You supported him on not maintaining Asari Dokubo's, men and their political whatever it is in the southeast. And people even almost started saying that, that Tinubu has paid you. But that's because you saw what was truth to you and you said it. So why would people expect us to see truth and call it lies, and see lies and call it truth because we have to support the president? Sorry, sir. Sorry. Hello, good evening, and welcome. Dr. Katch, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. You don't need to blame the president.
Okay.
That terrorism is not in their hands. There's no way they could have continued to fund that terrorist or non-government sting operation.
No problem, sir.
That was why it crashed.
No.
So, we know a lot.
No problem.
We know a lot of what the Buhari administration and party to undermine.
Yes, sir. All right, sir. Yes, sir. All right, sir. Let me quickly take this call. All right, sir. Hello, good evening, sir. Welcome, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Etabat. I'm calling from UK.
You're welcome. Congratulations. I hear I guess most more money.
Precious.
Sir?
I don't just want to say anything more than to congratulate your courage of giving it to that so-called DME, the hypocrite and psychopath. For giving it back to him, I'm very happy. I appreciate you.
Thank you, sir. I'm not just giving it back to him. I'm just telling him the truth. I've not even told him half of the truth anyway. Thank you, sir. I appreciate
that's
it,
what
sir.
I mean. The boldness I saw in you, giving it to him. I really appreciate that, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir. Nigerian's phone lines are open 0817-029-4077. That's a WhatsApp number to call. Or better still, follow the link on the pinned post, and that link will bring you straight into the studio to join the conversation. I'm sure you'll have a lot of questions for Dr. Katch. Please ensure you're joining to ask him every question that you have to ask. Hello, good evening, and welcome. MC, you're welcome. Go ahead, please.
Hello, Precious. Good evening.
Yes, please, welcome.
Yeah, I can see at least you're doing what you're supposed to do. Thank you for lashing out on that person that came to the platform to vomit that
I never
rubbish.
even give him half of the statistics. So I don't want to tell the number of people who don't die because of poor medical care. When it be said the people where they rule us, they go abroad, go take medical. I never give him half. And I dare him enter this page.
I tell you that they say
you can go you where enter this page, maybe and you talk eye to eye. I beg, data to data.
you know that I tell you, say we know them. I tell you, say your platform the other day. I say that they watch. Nah, Agbado, the Agbadorians. Nah, they're not so they praise their papa, they be slave. They follow their papa, their Supreme Court president. They do rubbish anywhere they face them. Now where they go.
It's okay, my brother. Just go ahead and make your own contribution.
I understand. I get you.
Thank you.
Thank you. A quick one. So what I'm about to say, what I want to add to before I put in my question here is regarding this El-Rufai's detention, continuous detention. Yeah, I don't know. We've been seeing this thing on one angle because I'm just thinking though. I might be wrong. I might be right. You guys continue to say El-Rufai and Rubado, they are brothers. Maybe they will sort themselves out. They will sort themselves out.
They're not going to sort out.
Hold on now. Just hold on. Let's look at it on this angle. At least I'm hopeful that Dr. Katch will elaborate on it as well, please. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know, because before the detention of El-Rufai was already going on. It's like it was already going on the full blow hot war with them. Like trying to expose everything because El-Rufai was one of them. They know what they did in ringing the 2023 election. So it looked as if that guy was about to start bringing out things out, what they did. That was the reason why they quickly pick him up and detain him. To make sure they stop him, not to continue spitting out their secrets on what they did. The detention is not just, they know that they got nothing because definitely what he has done is a bailable offense. You bail him, then you go to court. Court will not decide on what to do. But they refuse to do that. But you see, when he appeared in court the other day, what did he say? He said the ICPC or whatever is telling him
To
to
back
back
down
down
on
and
everything
say he should do,
politics.
but
Yes.
he's because
Mm.
he's insisting. Because that's why I also went to listen to when Peter Obi said, as in, at least we need these people. Some of them will repent. We need to continue to talk to them so that they can turn from those ways. If you because the guy, white hair, don't they come out for a head now? So they need to start doing what is right. So that's for that. That's another part. I'm hoping Dr. Cash will also try and elaborate on those what I've just said. And
All right. Okay.
and again,
Go ahead. Go ahead. So I'll bring someone else in. Go
yeah.
ahead.
And again, this other you see, even the I want because I feel again on this question. I might ask Dr. Cashros, she will elaborate on this as well. Why is it that anytime this guy is about to go on a trip, it's either the Senate or whatever, whoever they are, they will come and line up and start. It will not be shaking, like shaking them. They will line up and shaking them.
We understand you. We they do farewell till the
Yeah,
plane disappear,
they
then
even
welcome
before
back
the
to
plane
take
will
him.
go
It's
and
okay.
land
So
on
you
where
want to
is
ask him whether he did
yeah,
normal?
yeah, yeah. Even before the plane will go and land on where he's going, they will still. Is that I don't know whether they vanish, enter that same place because the first he took up first. So how come these people will not be there?
And then they land
They
line up
will
the
still
farm.
there. They will still go and
Mm.
line. Is this not foolishness or is this not madness? Are these people sick?
All right.
So that's for that. That's
Thank
for
you.
that as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's for that. Okay, now look at this trip for the UK now, right? Your people are dying. Your people are suffering. They are hungry. Nigerians are hungry. To my understanding, when I was reading some of stuff, doing some research, they said the trip is almost about 5 billion for this trip alone, more than that. At this money, that money now, if you pump that money on the Nigeria economy, I believe it could go some long way for the people. But are these people really, really, really sick? And when will Nigeria wake up on
Go
this?
straight to the point now, so that you go answer sharp sharp.
So
Thank
good.
you.
So
Not
let,
finished.
let,
Make
it,
me
let it
answer
answer.
you.
I still got more. I got some stuff to say. I will stay on the background. Let me answer,
Thank you.
please.
All right, then. Thank you. So, Dr. Katch, would you like to respond to him? One, he spoke about El-Rufai's case. And do you think it's because El-Rufai is beginning to release some kinds of worm or kind of worms and are waiting make they try stop him because he knows exactly what they know? You know, he did speak about that. He spoke about the sycophancy or sycophancy, as the British would say, and of waving the president bye-bye to aeroplane disappear and coming back again to welcome him. And he also did speak about the amount of money spent on the UK trip. Would you like to chime in on those?
Well, you will not understand. It's true, El-Rufai was part and parcel of the Buhari cabal. But I do not want to speculate what he will do, what he will not do. I know the things El-Rufai told me privately one-on-one when we spoke. I know very well he's a very bitter man. And
Wow.
you know what that means when you conspire with people to do things, and then when it is successful, they simply want to get rid of you. But I also want to tell you there is no loyalty among thieves. Nigerians should remember that. There is no loyalty
among thieves. Ew, chim.
No, in those who are now fighting and fight, they also could along the lines so that they consequences that we are now seeing El-Rufai go through. When you now bring strange bedfellows and they agree on a mission of keeping out a section of the country, I will simply remind you of one thing. When Buhari started his exclusion of the Southeast, he said it was, you remember, 5%.
Yes, he said people who gave him 5% vote should not expect the same development of people who gave him, yes.
But once they started that, some kept quiet. And some of them are not keeping quiet at the way El-Rufai is being treated. Then the thing grew. The exclusion and the nepotism grew to now affect more people than the 5% itself. It later became, instead of excluding just the 5%, Buhari and his cabal and the nepotism, and of course, the subsequent jihad that came affected far more than just the Southeast. Today, the Americans are in our country because of the way the killings affected the Middle Belt.
So do you think that El-Rufai is deliberately silenced because of the things they think he knows? That's the question, or the line of question.
No, El-Rufai is suffering because, as I said earlier, there is no loyalty among chiefs. If you conspire with people to cheat one man, nothing says that those people will not also add you to the list of the people to be students. And subsequently, if you check the poem that said at the beginning they came for the trade union, I didn't do anything because I was not a member of it.
Hello, sir. Oh dear. Hello, sir. I thought I tried calling back on direct call. Maybe I'll try to call back on direct call again. But before I get back to Dr. Katch on direct call, Aladdin Kelly, I see your message. And I'd like to answer you. You say, shame on you for thinking a government is meant to make your life better than helping yourself. Shame on you for thinking I'd rather help myself than a government to help me. You know why? Because I pay tax. And I paid tax all my life. Almost as a teenager, or at the very young age of my life, I started working for government. And I worked for free for a long time before government even adopted me as a staff and started paying me salary as a staff. I don't serve government for a long time. Ask people who know my track record as a journalist. I started as a young journalist from a government establishment, and I worked for free for a long time before I got paid. And even when I assumed position as a staff or when I was employed, of course I was paying tax. So I have served Nigeria. If there's anybody who should call Nigeria to question, I should question Nigerian government because I don't pay my dues. I have contributed to my country and I have every moral standing and right to question Nigeria. Oh, so a government that the oil in my village, the gold in Zamfara, the farmland, the air, the sea is under their care. Use this as a social contract to benefit our lights. Give us lights, give us road, give us a hospital, give us good schools, give us everything. And they don't do any of these things, at least substantially. And you're telling me not to question them. I should not be the one to make my lives better. Those countries where they pay more tax, do they have the same number of natural resources that we have in Nigeria? Yes, now they ask you. The countries where it is said they pay tax, how many natural resources they get compared to the natural resources we get for Nigeria? And where our natural resources for Nigeria they go? Why it be say if you feel say the government they do well, why their children need to go to school for Nigeria? Why they need to receive medical care for Nigeria? Why are they not attending the public schools that we're attending? Shame on you for thinking this way. Shame on you and everybody who thinks like you. If you dare tell me shame on me that I should expect government to make my life better. Why should they not expect to make my life better? Why should they not give me light? Why should I be suffering from poor light when I pay taxes and I'm still paying more for the light? And you said you refuse and you put me in band A, but I don't have lights. Are you kidding me? I'm paying more than people in most other countries are paying for lights, and I still don't have the lights, and you're telling me not to expect light from them. So giving me light is luxury. It is my right. Giving me road is my right. Giving me water is my right. I give myself water. I give myself road. I give myself light. I give myself everything. And you're telling me not to demand anything from government. The road to my street, I walked it. We contributed and worked it. And you're telling me not to expect anything from government. You see all of you, the God will go judge on. They do that God. In fact, God see they do press up for the judgment we go bring upon on our lives, because it's a shame that there are people who think this way. All the government, most of the government politicians you have today, what is their right to reach? What's in be the team work what they do when make them get money rich? If they be businessmen, what's in be the value of their businesses years back and the value now will make them get money so much? People are living large on a commonwealth, and you dare say we should not question them? At least ask them to give the normal poor man something. For other countries today, people who do not have a job get paid until they can have a job. People cannot die because they cannot access hospitals, because that is one of their rights as human beings. And you're asking me not to question government. Well, let me get back to Dr. Katch. Hello, Dr. Katch, sir.
Yes.
Sorry we lost you. Please go ahead, sir.
What I'm trying to say is this case is a lesson for all of us.
Okay, sir.
When they came against the Igbo, others thought it was just the Igbo. Later on, Buhari and his nepotism got against the rest of the country, and it became the Fulani against the rest of us. So I want to tell people to learn. Don't join any cartel that will seek to subjugate or to perpetrate evil against any group or any person. Those same people could turn tomorrow
and fight you.
Exactly.
So that the fates will erify the suffer be that.
I am telling you now, nobody among those fighting Erufai is safe in Tinubu's hand. Not even Ribadu. Take that to the bank. Nobody is safe. Take that for the bank. Nobody is safe in Tinubu's hand. If you think that organizing to deal with Erufai is the game, is not true. Tomorrow it will be you. Tomorrow it will be you. Take that to the bank.
All right, sir. Okay.
Because I understand the system and I know what they are saying.
All right, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Let me quickly bring someone else into the studio. T.Y. Danjuma, good evening and welcome. You did go exam. T.Y. Danjuma, you're muted. Can you hear me? T.Y. Danjuma, hello. Okay. So apparently his T.Y. Danjuma, are you there? Why did you do like this now? Welcome. Good evening, sir.
Thank you. Let me quickly bring someone else into the studio. T.Y. Danjuma, good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Precious.
Thank you. Welcome, sir.
T.Y. Danjuma, you're muted. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
T.Y. Danjuma, hello.
Yes, I hear you.
You go ahead. You go help me turn
I hear you.
All right. Welcome.
You can't hear me.
T.Y. Danjuma, you there?
We can hear you.
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. So go ahead, sir.
I can hear you now.
You did okay. You get to turn up the volume of your own device.
Good evening, Precious.
Thank you. Welcome.
You get to help me turn them off. Ouch.
Yes,
Please help me turn it off. Please help me turn off your device. But let me take your follow-up question, MC. Please go ahead with your follow-up question before I come back to T.Y. Danjuma. Go ahead.
Okay, Precious. Yeah,
Yes,
the other question which I want to add as well, which I want to ask him as well, is about the terrorists now that are committing a whole lot of atrocity in a society where this guy's supposed to leave that country. Is he not supposed to be on the front leading his so-called military appointee that he has put in any of these positions, to, as in, leading them in the forefront to go see how they can sort it out, how they can liberate the country, free the country for this, rather than focusing on the trip. All the trip he has been going, he has not been able to produce anything. No investment. What does it produce?
You know, yes, we'll get $30 billion to
What?
be enter our country.
Okay, they deceive. What did they deceive now?
Not
Propaganda.
deceive.
Propaganda where they push all around. Okay, if you get 30 billion, where's the 30 billion in Nigeria? What infect has been given to the Nigerians? The 30 billion. You see, I'm for the Nigeria body. Then the country see this side darkness. Huh? So that's for that. What effect? As in, why? Because the thing is so frustrating here that this guy, Nigeria should start asking him question. They should
If
start
you can,
asking
if
these
you can
people.
help us go straight to your point so that we can finish with you. Just go ahead and go straight
Yeah,
to your point.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's for that. So I'm just trying to like ask him that how long will Nigeria continue like this with this kind of lies, deceit,
All
this
right.
propaganda that is being pulled all around?
All right.
What is the what can he encourage Nigerians to do
Okay.
regarding this? And
All right.
again, the Sultan of Sokoto that visited him before he went for this trip,
Mm-hmm.
that statement that came out that the Sultan of Sokoto asked him the continued detention of El-Rufai and what
Okay.
are the Americas, how long will the Americas stay
Okay.
in the country? Is it true, really? The Sultan of Sokoto really asked him that kind of question. So that's my question to him. If he can
Dr.
elaborate
Katch, can you hear
more on
us?
it.
Hello.
I can hear you.
All right. So I don't know if you heard the questions he asked. Dr. Katch had said he didn't want to respond to those stuffs anyway because he said they were irrelevant. But let's see if he can respond to you. Dr. Katch, please go
Okay.
ahead.
I've told you it's irrelevant to respond to whatever the Fulani and their gang are saying. What they are doing is called takia. So we don't need to take them seriously. We already have what we need. The international community are aware of what's going on. That's what we need. We have witnesses, children, so forget whatever it is that they do and continue to see how we can behave so we can work together. Our problem today in our country is the inability of indigenous people to work together. Imagine what will happen if the Igbos and Yorubas were working together. They will put the Fulani down and they will salvage the country. It's our inability to work together as one. That's why the country is in a mess. I am an incurable optimist. I have a mind that Nigeria will get well. That's what I think. I'm very, very optimistic that Nigeria will be well.
Thank you, sir. All right, sir.
I encourage everybody, irrespective of the problems they've seen, continue to work hard, pray hard, that things will get well.
All right, sir.
I have no doubt things will get well. You know?
All right, sir. All right. T.Y. Danjuma, good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Professor.
Yes. What's happened to your internet now?
I don't know. I they talk. Apparently, they hear me, but they hear you quite well.
And okay, well, just go ahead, please. Dr. Katch can hear you.
Greetings, Dr. Katch. How are you?
He can hear you. He can hear you. Just go ahead.
Precious, I never see you this provoked like this. So no.
I know they provoke. See, T.Y. Danjuma, if you know. First of all, I don't like to say some things. I don't like to say some things.
No worry.
I don't like to say some things. See, at the time my father died, if my father could access just ordinary ambulance on time, he wouldn't have died. Basic health care killed my father. So, it's painful, even though it wasn't President Tinubu that was in power when it happened. But I know people who have also suffered same fate under this administration. But the president and his family and other people within his cabinet can enjoy that treatment in another country. So it is very embarrassing when you have people know this truth and then don't come out to tell you. See what people are saying. The number of buses that this government has brought out to use for campaign. T.Y. Danjuma, those buses don't pass 774. That means they could go around for each local government area in Nigeria. Do you know what it will mean for each primary health care, for each local government to get that one bus as an ambulance? Do you know the dramatic turn and effect it will put in our healthcare system? but would rather spend that bust on campaign than use it to save lives. Do you understand my point? So there is no way we look at it that it's fair.
What of the monies, the billions where they done the waste on image laundering?
I'm not even talking. Let's assume those ones are propaganda. I'm even looking at the actuality. You cannot tell us, oh, manage, things are hard. But you're living your best life, and people around you are living their best life. That's just my grouse. For places where the president does good, I hail him. But you cannot. Oh, it's okay, Jerry.
Those are people who have sold their soul to the devil. You know, you see them when they comment now. These are ethnic chauvinists. They are no better than.
Nigeria should grow beyond. Nigeria should grow beyond ethnic relevance, as it were. Whether person from Afghanistan can rule us now, what we just desire is good governance. Just good governance. That's all we desire.
I told you yesterday that you should leave 5 or 10 minutes where we will do it for such people where they come they talk nonsense when they know the issues.
Again.
I told you.
See, I join back for inside studio now. This battery could die. Join back inside studio. Look, could hear you well, and then ask your question to Dr. Katch. Make you respond.
No, quickly, I will come back. Just quickly, okay. I just want to thank Operation Hiding Kai for yesterday's marvelous job that they did.
You saw those bodies, right? I mean, they deliberately video the bodies, then they show us to also raise the morale of Nigerians, and I love that.
Yeah. I'm just hoping that the commander of that operation would not be retired, or they will withdraw all the artillery and the assets where they take do that job. But great job, because we can't be saying bad of Nigeria and the military and all that. But this is a good job, and I hope they continue. But quickly, that said, I think that from the report we did get, you have over 143 people who accompanied Tinubu on this trip. Official and unofficial list. And then we're waiting for the figure where it will cost, how much it costs the president. I feel that the president from here could disappear. 2 days visit.
He ends today, so he should be back tomorrow.
So we should, I'm not sure if he's going to be back tomorrow. Maybe go fly to the usual place, go take some abere.
No,
before he come back, because you can see the way they walk, the way he's walking, and the way you could see and the way they hold him, like cloth way, the way they hold him, you could see like kerosene don't finish for lamp, so you go need to recharge and refuel. That's my contribution. Okay. Let us see the investment that is going to come. But for me, it's part of selling off Nigeria again, like they sold to America, to UAE, to France. To China and so on and so forth. Nothing is going to come out of this, just another waste of resources, squandering of riches, and it's unfortunate. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Dr. Katch, do you think so? Do you think that this whole agreement with the United Kingdom is just waste of resources?
Well, the agreement in terms of the money that will come for upgrade of force. That, I think, that's likely to come on. But security agreement is just waste resources near the source. As far as the Americans are here, forget about security. Americans are in charge of security. All those talk with Turkey and other people, they just attempt by Tinubu to pretend things are okay.
But do you not think that the US itself is a bit too distracted now, because Trump, it's not, I mean, the war with Iran is not going as he expected it, and it's they're distracting to him now.
That's not true. The decision to come to Nigeria was not started by Trump. It was started during the Obasanjo administration. So it was a long-standing US wish. They achieved it now during the Trump administration. Nigeria is a geopolitical decision by the US. It's not a Trump decision. Yes, the Israeli intervention helped to make Trump be risen. But the decision to come to Nigeria by the United States is a long-standing decision that was arranged during the time of the Obasanjo administration. Don't forget.
Will that eventually lead to establishing a military base in Nigeria?
You're asking me what occupation means. We're currently occupied by superpower. We do not have an army that can react to the military and security challenges that we do have. You are the one talking about the soldier officer advising people to protect themselves and do not engage with the terrorists. That tells you the security services and the army are not there. They're divided. So nobody who thinks on the long term will take the Nigerian army seriously. So, and that is a consequence of Buhari's destruction of the security service. It will take time to fix, but before it gets fixed, it is very important that the US stay engaged and keep their foot on the ground. They've arrived in Nigeria, nobody's hearing. You know what they are doing. This is an elite group of US services. So, and the country is divided. A lot of us are very happy that they're here, because if they were not here, the Sultan and his people will kill us all and then seize our country. Is that what you want? No. So they're not going to lose quickly. Them stay here and embed themselves properly. And when the time comes, what will be, will be. Nigeria is currently at war with the Fulani insurgents and the other jihad. We don't ask that Americans leave so that the jihadists will turn us into their chicken corporation. No. We will not say that. We're happy that the Americans are here, and the reasons for which they are here shape it. So there's nothing like asking questions about that.
All right, sir.
And also, Nigerians are very, 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 very happy that the United States intervened. If they didn't intervene, it could have been worse right now. So, of course, imagine where we were headed when the Fulani were doing what they were doing. Imagine how incompetent Tinubu's administration was in calibrating every reaction to the Fulani killings and murder. Even the government of Tinubu was involved in denial. So what did you expect to do?
So, Dr. Katch, just before I let you go, on the 25th of this month, that's next week Wednesday, the U.S. Congress, they get another congressional hearing on the genocide in Nigeria. And two ways. I think on the 25th, people will go speak, will be witnesses of the and survivors of the genocide go speak. While on the 26th, the government-owned people go speak. With all of this lobby, where they say our presidents don't lobby, about 4 or 5 different group of PR firms now, 9 they don't they paid to lobby on different angles. Some to the congressmen, some where they even work for Donald Trump. 9 don't they lobby. In fact, one of them, a person who work for Donald Trump, we believe in bio show say he talk about Christian genocide, he did against them. So he knows what he's doing, and he's now working for our president according to the report against Christian genocide. And so, you know, different angles with all of them they useful, all get towards the same idea to quell and come out the idea of Christian genocide. How you think say this thing will go, especially considering that the actual victims of these killings don't get any money to lobby anybody. They don't have that money to waste. And whoever it be, will be okay, go ahead, sir.
I will tell you to forget all. There is nothing wrong with criminals trying to deny their crimes. It's difficult trying to, use embellishing words to make people forget what happened. It has happened, it has happened. And there are records of this issue. So we're not going to, I'm not worried about what these people will say or what they will do. What happened has happened, and there are records of it. What happened that happened, and intelligence was captured. So I don't really know what human beings will do to reverse humanity's understanding of what happened in Nigeria. I will advise that people forget the intentions of those who think they can deny this and succeed in denying it. The US government knows what's going on. Don't forget, it wasn't the Nigerians that forced Trump to come there. It was the Israeli law. So I don't see the kind of money that President Tinubu and his gangs or cartel can raise that would defeat the effort of the troops now known in the United States and also the push of the Israeli law. I want you to just forget it. Forget it.
All right, sir.
There's a limit to what lobbyists can do. I'm not worried about this because I know what's going on inside. And I know the Nigerian government will not be able to reverse these truths that have manifested all over. It's not an issue that you can deny. Forget those stories. It doesn't work that way. You know, what you're talking about is that the Fulani will now employ the Takia and then be able to use the Takia to quash what the world knows. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. There was a genocide, and that genocide needs to be addressed. If somebody tries to kill you, and then he wasn't able to because he missed the shot, it doesn't mean he didn't try to kill you. So we're not worried. I personally am not worried. The world knows. The country itself will divide. Anybody does not want to resolve this issue peacefully, the country will break. Take that from me. You will see an implosion. We could go into civil war.
All right,
the only way now is to peacefully understand what we can do.
All right, sir.
If you try to cover it and say nothing happened, the country could likely plunge into a civil war.
Thank you, sir.
That is a fact.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
The only way to resolve what happened in Nigeria is to peacefully ameliorate and then see how you can bring back the displaced persons who have lost their loved ones, who are currently held in concentration camps, return them back to their ability, remove the jihadis, Fulanis who are now seizing their villages, let them go back to their country. A lot of them are not Nigerians. There are no Nigerians that have moved from their previous homes to new homes. These are Fulanis who are coming from Mali, Central African Republic, Burkina Faso, and other places where there is crisis. And due to the Buhari's invitation, they have come to Nigeria. And because Nigerians did not give land for them to be settled, Fulani militias have used ethnic cleansing to clean off indigenous owners of villages who are currently being held and kept in concentration camps, which government designated as camps for internally displaced persons. You need to return those people back to their homes and remove those Fulani occupants. For us to have peace. It's an issue of land. It is that.
So it's
the issue of land can last for you.
I know, and you know that's part of what they are going to. That's part of what they are saying. They say they talk saying that climate change push them come up for where they and make them define land where water they and all that. So it's not like they plan to kill anybody.
Out of Mali. What pushed them out of Mali is due to the fight, the war between the Fulani and the Dogon in central Mali. What pushed them out of Central Africa probably is due to the fight between the Fulani and indigenous people of Central African Republic. It has nothing to do with climate change.
All right, sir. Thank you.
There are rhetorics that Buhari's hired lobbyists were painting across the world. I know about it. Now that the truth is open. Remember, the Miyati Allah were saying this were farmer feathers.
Please be on the line. I'll talk to you once Dr. Katch drops his
They are saying climate change. What kind of climate conditions will make people from Mali come and take people's land in Nigeria? What climate change says that Fulanis from Central African Republic or Yemen can come to Nigeria and displace indigenous people in Nigeria? What climate change is that? Things like that, rhetoric, standing the Baba idiots. You know, all I know, the Sultan should be shocked for having been at the head of this genocide. He cannot exonerate himself. This is the truth. This is the truth.
All right, sir. Thank you so much, Dr. Katch. I appreciate you big time. It's always a pleasure to be with you and to discuss these issues with you every time. Thank you so immensely, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
I'm happy to have engaged with your audience.
I appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening and see you next week. Thank you, sir. All right. Hello, good evening and welcome. Sorry. Good evening.
Precious.
Sir?
Hi, this is Franklin.
Oh, Mr. Franklin, you're welcome.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. How about you, sir?
I'm good, Precious.
Sir?
I heard you, speaking like a lioness whose cubs were violated. I didn't know you have this energy in you to speak and challenge Nigeria. Please, I thank God for you. I appreciate you. That's all I call to say. And in my culture, they said the person who chopped the testicles of the he-goat is owing the hernia, the debt to the hernia. Nigeria had tried to paint this country as one Nigeria, to keep Nigeria one, a task that must be done, but it's to keep Nigeria one for the Fulanese. That's what we're coming to realize now, from 1967 till now. But all the things you've spoken, trying to challenge both the president and the powers that be for lying, I feel your pain. And actually, if I were to choose a mother that can fight, you are the one I'm going to choose. I didn't know you have this fight in you. Thank God for the things you do. Continue the good work you do. Nigeria one day will pay. Whoever is gaslighting Nigeria, one day they will pay. Trust me. Tinubu thinks that he's going to do all this. If I don't give you a lie, don't vote for me. And now he's going to make Nigeria one party. There's God in heaven, wherever heaven is. And we're praying that one day God will emancipate Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you, sir. All right. Going to my backyard. I thought I just saw T.Y. Danjuma in my backyard. MC, you still have something to say before we go?
Oh, okay. Precious. Thank you for bringing me back. No problem. I just wanted to say what I would like what I will continue to say is that they are listening. Just I will say thank you for everything you do as well. I really appreciate you. We thank you. Nigerians are listening, so they are watching you and all that, and you see part of the evidence already today. So we need to continue talking, and I believe we will get there. We will get there. Nigeria will get better because if Nigerians are able to chase out these criminals, all of them, and they don't spare one, at the end of the day, things will start. That we are able to start putting the right people in the right positions. I believe Nigeria will start seeing the light. So that's for that. And again, you could see what you could see because, like I said yesterday, that when the good people in a community keep quiet, yeah, evil will become the general of that community. So the good people needs to come out and start talking. They should pick up that courage and start speaking truth to power. The more we continue to talk, the more we continue to speak truth to power, the more these people would know that no, these people are watching. It's time for us to start backing down. So that's what I want to add. Huh?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
Yeah.
much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, Nigerians. I was about to run you through some of the other stories that we have very quickly. Time is already far spent, so that I can release you. I can't go for a second life. Please just forgive me. Okay. So let's see some of the stories that we haven't touched that I want us to touch very quickly. Not touch, just giving you headlines. So, oh, I told you now. So, Dele Momo do give FFK, Femi Fanikayode, and Reno Mokri Glasgow. Say them the beds of, like, say, the tale of two very sad friends. And FFK don't come respond to Dele Momo to say Tinubu fed Dele Momo for 40 years. Now, it's in Fanikayode, don't talk. Okay. So who give person food chop? All right. I'm not saying anything. Once proud school now crumbles, unsafe and starving. Hibf Young calls out Akwa Ibom governor over neglect of Itinang Institute, while 32 billion naira is wasted on worship centers and several billions elsewhere. You spend money for worship center and several billions, but the institute is wasting. In fact, let me even read the message by Enehibe, the way he put it, so that I'm not going to talk in my mouth when I hear him. I will hear directly from the horse. So he says, I weep for Akwa Ibom. How are the mighty falling? The once reputable Itinanga Institute is now in ruins. For Nigerians from other parts of the country, Itinanga Institute used to be one of the most prestigious and outstanding secondary schools in Akwa Ibom State. Itinanga Institute currently has 27 academic staff members, including the principal, the vice principal, serving a student population of approximately 2,100. Now, the school currently faces serious infrastructure and welfare challenges. You see, when would they talk these things, it's just they like saying we're not just like government. It doesn't matter the government. Government should just do their work. Let me continue with Nehemiah. Okay, so it said the transformer that previously served the school has long collapsed, forcing the institute to tap electricity from a distant community, which can only power a few light bulbs. Until the intervention of the 2006 alumni class last year, the school had no reliable water supply for the entire school community. As a result, students often stay and dine in the dark or in darkness at night, creating difficult and unsafe living conditions. Now, security is also a major concern. The school's perimeter the perimeter fencing is porous, allowing easy access to vandals and unauthorized individuals, despite the presence of both male and female students in the hostels, a boarding school. Sanitation conditions are also poor. The boys' hostel still relies on pit toilets for 21st century. A government school, a public school, pit toilets. Okay, highlighting the urgent need for improved sanitation facilities within the school. Now, the administrative building, which houses several critical facilities, is now badly dilapidated and at risk of collapse. The ground floor previously accommodated the principal's office, the cashier's office, the councillor's office, and the storeroom, whilst the first floor housed the art studio and the school library. Due to the deteriorating condition of the infrastructure, the first floor has already been evacuated to reduce the load on the building, as it's currently a state as its currently state poses, or current state rather, poses a significant safety risk. Now, boarding facilities have also declined significantly. The school, which once had over 500 boarding students, now has fewer than 100, as many parents are unwilling to keep their children in such difficult conditions. In addition, the quality of food provided for the boarders is reported to be very poor, further discouraging enrollment in the boarding schools. For the past 2 weeks, there was no water supply at all in the school. Itinang Institute closed for the term yesterday. Will the students and staff returned to meet the school in the same abominable condition. He went all and all and on and all with the conversation. And people are wondering, wait, there's a government in that place. He said it is currently the best public secondary school in 18. So it is important to note that 18 Institute is the second oldest secondary school in Akwa Ibom State. Second oldest in the whole of Akwa Ibom State. And at one time, the highest student population in the state, making its current state of decline particularly concerning. It is currently the best public secondary school in 18 local government area. If this is what the best looks like, then you can imagine what the rest could be like. You can only imagine how bad other public schools are going to be in the local government area, if this is not the best school for the local government area. Mind you, the local government is where some of the leading politicians in the state are from, including the following. He mentioned them all: PDP state chairman and current House of Rep member representing 18 and federal constituency. Paul Ekpo is from there. Odwak Ekpo Effort, member of House of Assembly, is from there. Isanting Kenneth Okon is from there. He's commander Ibom Community Watch. But he mentioned quite even the local government chairman of 18 local government is from. So he mentioned the attorney general of the state is from there. He mentioned people who are from there, and yet nobody is making a case for the best school in their local government area to be rehabilitated or paid attention to. I'm tired of talking about government issues, so let's move on. Tinubu's Tinubu's insignificant visit exposes UK complicity in Nigeria's problems. Timmy Frank, now they talk about Tinubu's insignificant visit to UK exposes UK's complicity in Nigeria's problems. Now, Timmy Frank, they talk, I'm not be precious in you. I'm not certain I'll get the ADC tickets, but I'm fighting for it. I'm not afraid of anyone. Peter Obi, now in the talk this one. Any leader who can't deliver in 4 years wounds in 400 years. Vote them out. Music star Jesus Jackson, you talk this one. So if you know if you deliver in 4 years, in 400 years, you know if you do anything, no bother, vote them out. Sokoto Islamic cleric Sheikh Lukua defies Sultan's directive, leads Eid prayers. Tinubu's government doing everything to stop me from contesting 2027 presidential election. P2B reveals this. I can't play those videos, please. Excuse me with those. Exhibit exposes how Islamic terrorists plan to establish caliphate in Nigeria. And if you see the evidences, you'll be wowed. But you know what? I'm tired of talking about these issues. It's tiring to deal with it. Well, there's notable the notebooks where these are captured by Nigerian troops from Islam ISOP fighters in Malam where they cleared them, show the list of ISOP militants mobilized to attack their roles, their weapons, and their allocated ammunition. And they are very, very tactical and very detailed. Now, this level of organization was also noted in Puntland in, I think East Somal. The cardboard piece first image was discovered, So people are saying that Islamic State provinces manage themselves like actual states. And it's in the name. They have their own police, military police, ministries, and more. They are not only an armed group, but they strive to become alternative governing entity. And they were still treating them with kids' glove. All right. Trump's administration moves to strip Nigerian-born fraudster Oluwatosin of U.S. citizenship over $9 million scam. And then Tinubu, Nigerian ranks fourth. I told you already, Global Terrorism Index holds record for largest death toll increase despite global decline. Diaspora. He said diaspora who fled because of hardship are now singing on your mandate. They should come back home. Come back home so that you come to Nigeria and sing on your mandate or you fall on your mandate. Isaac Fayoshe, they talk this one. Nigeria global stakeholders condemn King Charles' banquet speech after monarch fails to mention Christian genocide despite 3,490 killed in 2025 alone under Tinubu. So why no mention them at all? Now, while Tinubu abandons health sector, 2 children reportedly die at Kebbi General Hospital after wrongful injection by unqualified staff. Trump former advisor, I told you this yesterday, Matt Mowers, takes $720,000 from Bola Tinubu's linked firms to counter Christian genocide in Nigeria, while U.S. Congress faces $10 million lobby surge. I can't already reveal this one. And if this had happened in Lagos, Tinubu wouldn't have traveled, but keeps ignoring the North. Imam slams Tinubu UK trip amid Borno explosion. So why you could travel when their people did die? Worshippers fear attending Eid prayer ground despite assurance of adequate security. So would they fear if we go now, they go bomb all of us? And Nigeria ranks fourth. I think I already told you the story. You are weaponizing poverty. Malam Jabiri blasts APC Senator Aliyu Wamako for giving 1,000 to orphans as Salah gift in Sokoto. 1,000. 1,000. Terrorists are parading Ibadan while NSA and Defense Minister are in London to welcome Tinubu to UK. Nigerian citizens, in fact, they welcome. They're riding on the chariots, having fun. What are you talking about? They're having a nice time. You see, this opportunity not be waiting, they come every time. It will be once in a lifetime. Now, EFCC arrests NDDC employee Pastor Esimogu over alleged multi-million naira contract fraud. This story is so deep, but I can't handle it today. I'm already knackered. I have to retire. Bandits and Bush killed 3 police officers, vigilante leader in Taraba community. And how David Umahi Federal University paid company linked to Minister Umahi 150.7 million naira to supply diesel. Dice. The university, Federal University, pay a company where they linked to the former governor 150 million to supply diesel. So now companies where they close and I get to do the contracts. That's what the report says. I didn't write it. Corruption tainted police officers defy posting reversal, remain active under DIG Ochala at FCID Abuja amid probes. And let's see, FBI probing former US counterterrorism chief who resigned over Iran war. This according to reports. And let's see what we have here. Nigeria records largest rise in terrorism deaths globally by 46%. They took millions, refused to give me nomination form. APC aspirant alleges fraud ahead of party convention. So they take millions from them, but they don't give them form. Oh, don't worry, they will come all of an down. You calm down. Everything is gone. Lagos widow cries out at home built with late husband's pension is demolished by alleged land grabbers in Lagos State. Taraba Governor Kefas orders arrest of skid makers, Dr. Slim, Gospel Ahaji, others over criticism of administration. You see the thing? You criticize, they come and arrest you. You keep quiet, they won't do their job. Iran demands compensation for materials and moral damages from UAE for aiding US strikes. And FCT private school owners protest multiple taxation under Minister Wiki as Abuja court adjourns suit. Private schools for FCT, they say the taxation done too much under Wiki. We have gadgets to track your calls. Niger Governor Bago vows to go after bandits informants. You're still vowing to go after them, and people are dying. We've not gone after them. Police may withdraw from Osun Council Secretariat as IGPDC reviews role in political disputes. That's according to sources, but I don't think so. Now waiting to do, you do. Now waiting people they talk. Man loses 4 sons who went to buy eyeglasses for Salah in Medugri blast. In case you don't understand, the man 4 children, 4 of his sons, who he made them go buy glasses so they will use make shakara for Salah, die. Then die for that bomb blast. 4 of his children. 2 cocoa farmers rescued, 3 suspects arrested following kidnap at Ibadan Research Institute or your place. I hope this is right. Well, these and more stories maybe say we get today. I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone who's part of the show. It's always a pleasure to bring on a matter them where they happen for Nigeria. These are some things that we say happen for Nigeria. I love you guys and I appreciate you guys. We'll see you again tomorrow evening, God willing. I'm supposed to have someone. I'll let you in if I can have a guest tomorrow. I'm supposed to have someone. These days, I don't want to be talking again until the person comes. But at the meantime, don't forget to protect your mental health. So please share now. Share and like the post. Please like, share, and make sure see as many people as possible see them. And maybe they hear the good things we tell ourselves and the bad boosts we give each other. And sincerely speaking, this is also speaking to anybody who thinks that this platform is a bit hard on government. Personally, I've tried inviting as many APC people as possible. I wish they would come. Let's talk. Let's talk data for data, statistics for statistics, what's going on in Nigeria. So if you have anyone who is part of government, who is in government, who is a member of the ruling party. Please bring them on. Let's talk. Let's talk. It's also good that they share their own part of the story because this platform is for everybody. So please bring them on. Let them also share their own part of the story. We're here to entertain them. The only problem is we'll ask questions, just like I ask questions. Sometimes I ask questions to people who say they're opposition, and some people begin to call me that Tinubu has paid me. That's why I'm asking those questions. And the questions are obvious, and I know the answers already, but I keep asking. But I needed to balance my conversation. So please come too, so that you help me balance it very well with the questions I'll ask you. But I love you guys, irrespective. And I know say I love when I be. I love when I plenty. Please protect your mental health. Not gonna be alive for me, I beg. Make all of us stay alive till Nigeria go better because one day, it must surely better. I love you too much. Good night and God bless you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to this platform if you've not subscribed. Not take because of say you quarrel, may not subscribe, or you will see subscribe, you will still come back tomorrow. Maybe you continue the argument again. Like, follow us across all our social media platforms at Precious Enyi TV across all social media platforms. Like and share this post. I love you guys. Good night and God bless you. Thank you so much. Bye.